7:26. Sounds of AC. Oh, I love the song. We ever told us loving never got cold. I mean, let it all go. All right, this Friday, October 31st. In other jurisdictions, it's Halloween night. And it just so happens that the Presecans are walking around their school with fire. Hey! This is what people want to. Gary and his friends, they're walking around the school with fire. They go and set up huge flames in the school.
You'll be there to support them.
You'll be there to condone.
Of course.
Setting fires.
Whatever our boys do is right.
Ramon to us to say, anyways, the Presec bonfire, torch and bonfire night is the Odadia torch and bonfire night. It's happening this Friday, the 31st of October, at the Presec campus in Legon. This year, we are celebrating 10 years of the Torch and Bonfire Night and 10 years since the graduation of the class of 2015. We are bringing back the fire, the energy, and the memories once again. And the global president, the number 10 captain himself, and his vice president will be there, leading the charge for another iconic moment in Odadia history. And there'll be amazing performances from some of Ghana's top artists. I've seen some of that. It's Blacko. Champion Blacko will be there. Blacko is going. And the bonfire blaze like never before. Be there and keep the blue flame burning. Everybody's invited. Or daddy, sister, school. Hey. Invitation to them.
We are not sister school.
Sorry.
Say it well.
Your
a better house.
Hey. Something we can do. Love and faith right now. Friends, families, and the general public, come and experience the magic, pride, and power of the Blue Flame. Powered by your daddy 2015-year group, still flying high, still blazing trails. Now, MTN is giving you the MTN Free After One Extra. You can talk for 1 whole hour, uninterrupted, while paying for the very first minute of every 10 minutes you talk. Which means for every 10 minutes you talk within the hour, you only pay for the first minute. And you get to talk for 60 minutes straight. And if that's not enough, you get 100 MB of data for free after your first call on Saturdays. To subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra, just dial *550# and follow the prompts. Don't get that fast, you go alone. You wanna go far, you go together. No matter what time or weather. Now we know we must. Well, this December, you got my back, so I got yours. If you want to go far in Morocco, you go together. That's why you need to bring your boys, and your girls. And get to Morocco. Now, how are you getting to Morocco? Dunia Safari and Sporty FM are taking you to Morocco. Travel with your squad, your family. Go and watch the AFCON. December, chake mommy, feel mini sanipone. Chake mommy. You've done rave, this, that. Go to Morocco. Go and watch the AFCON. It doesn't matter if the Black Stars are there or not. This is an opportunity to go and experience the beautiful country of Morocco. If you want preview, ask Abigail and Guy. They'll give you preview. They've been there before. The place is nice. Go and watch the AFCON. Go and watch Nigeria. Go and watch Cote d'Ivoire. Go and watch South Africa. Use the Sporty FM promo code SportyFan25 when booking to unlock a special 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people booking. The promo code SportyFan25, SportyFan25. Then you get a 20% discount for a minimum of 3. So if you are 3 and above, that's when the discount kicks in. Don't just hear it on Sporty FM. See the games live in Morocco. Limited spots available. Visit duniasafari.com or call 053-808-7709 or send an email travelduniasafari@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari. Don't forget to use the booking code or the promo code, SportyFan25.
Lifestyle. How you living? Bridges or walls? Call it. Head to tail. Still on you. Okay.
Yeah. Raise vibrations.
This time matters on the pitch. So the Black Queens did train yesterday at the Accra Sports Stadium. They went back forth. Eventually, the decision was that they were going to train. They put all these issues to the back burner. And they managed to get to the pitch to train.
Picture.
7:34. Yes, you can send in your comments 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. So the Black Queens are in action today. They take on Egypt in that second leg of the final round of WAFCON qualifiers, and they had their training session yesterday at the Accra Sports Stadium. Abigail Senna, so you were there. What time did they eventually get to the ground for the training session to begin?
Oh, they were there at the right time. The Egyptians trained before they did, and so they got there at 5 p.m. to be able to to get in shape for that game later this afternoon. And it was all joy. They looked enthused about getting back on the pitch, getting to do what they want to do, or the reason Ghana called them in here. And it was good to see that they had a lot of backing as well, leadership of the Football Association. They have been with them through and through. Tony Bakfo of PFAG also was there. Quite a number of faces, people, fans trooping as well to watch them train. Of course, unmissable will be the supporters union. They also showed up to see them train, and then I think it was all good. They had an hour training. Kimlas at least laid down all that he wants to do. He was particularly happy that they have been able to come back and get in work on the road again, like he said in the interview. And so it was all well and good. At least we didn't see anyone set aside due to injury or anything. So all the girls are definitely available for selection if they should get the opportunity. I'm sure they'll be able to march onto the pitch and then do us some good. And for some of them, it's going to be the first time they'll have to play in Ghana ever since they joined the Black Queens. Players like Josephine Bonsu, Abigail Kofi Kim, and Chantel Boy-Holka. For them, this will be the first time. And even for head coach Kim Lasbiuk again, this will be his first game in Ghana. I remember when he joined, he was just globe-trotting, if I can say, from Cameroon to... from Ivory Coast to Morocco, then back to Morocco for the tournament proper. So he's not really had the feel of the home fans or playing in Ghana. And so for him as well, today will be the first time he'll have that opportunity. So it's looking good, all well and good, like I said earlier. We should be able to get into that. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch a glimpse of the Egyptians train, because when we got there, they had literally wrapped up, so the Queens can take over. So they're also looking poised for the action as well. So it's all good. Everybody is okay, smiles, happy to be able to do the job they love to do.
But when you look at everything that's happened, the fact that they've had only one training session, should that concern followers of the team? Because some people think that a 3-0 margin is big but not unsurmountable. So should there be concerns as to like how we'll see the Queens today? Will it take them time to settle and then eventually get the job over the line?
Well, I don't think so, Nathan, because even with on normal days, let me say when footballers are off season, at home they do try to at least stay fit and do certain things. They'll not be as trained, but I don't think that the girls were literally eating and sleeping while they were at the hotel waiting for the game or whatever conversations they were having. I know with their fitness coach around, 1 or 2 shake-ups would have gone on, but it wouldn't be like on the pitch. And with the quality that we have, I feel that training they had yesterday should be enough. They didn't look tired. They didn't look like they would need a lot of time to get their groove on. They didn't look like they are literally forgotten about everything and they need some time to reset or anything. They didn't look like it, and they didn't give anybody that feeling as well. So I feel that yes, unfortunately, they had just one training session on the pitch like they would want to, and it happened to be the mandatory one, but it didn't look like they were lacking in any way.
Okay, so game is at 3:30.
3:30 p.m. Yeah.
When you I don't know what you picked from that training session. What kind of potential team should we expect in terms of starters? Do you see a team similar to what we used last week, or you expect 1 or 2 changes because of maybe tactical reasons or the fact that there's a 3-0 advantage?
Nathan, first of all, you do not change a winning team. I remember the last time I mentioned to you that Kim is not someone who would want to be thinking with his team, especially at this time. We had that some few months into his job, but he's looking like he's getting comfortable with certain players in certain positions. And I feel that Stella Nyamiche continues to give him that selection headache. You see that performance she put up in Ismailia, it will be difficult if you want to get it out of this team. How would you take Jennifer Kujo and Grace Asanto out of that midfield, given the job that they did? And Josephine Bonsu, Comfort Yeboah, excellent on that wing back play. So who exactly are you going to take off? It will be difficult. And like I mentioned, there's no major injuries that should really want him to immediately tinker with this lineup that got him the 3-0. I am not seeing anything too far off from that lineup that started against Egypt and Ismailia. Okay,
you expect a very similar starting 11?
Very, very similar.
Regulars in there?
Regulars in there, because Cynthia Findip, the competition is coming, but it hasn't gotten to that level where you can displace her if she's not injured, you understand? And so I'm not seeing how Afia Menyaku or Kerry will be able to take that place. But Josephine Bonsu is quite comfortable in her position at the back. So Captain Portia and Ama Susan have also built that partnership over the years. Some of these players, until major injuries, it will be very, very difficult.
I see. You speak about the fact that this team is playing in front of the home crowd for the very first time in months. For players like Chantel Boy-Holka, it's her first time playing in front of the home crowd. Kim Lasbiuk, the same thing. He's coaching in front of the home crowd. How do you think they'll take up that, or how do they overcome that? It's not a pressure game. It's not Ghana versus Zambia. from a few years ago. So how do you think they will take up this whole new experience?
Listen, I think that from what I saw yesterday, it is more like we want to get in there and do this. They want to have fun, enjoy themselves. And if you get a little close to Chantal, you know that she's down to earth, ready to embrace her new environment wherever she finds herself. And so she, especially yesterday on a casual, she mentioned that she was really looking forward to it, ready to be able to play in Ghana. I missed everything that has happened. She was really looking forward to having her first game, and it is going to happen later today. So I feel that they have warmed themselves up already, and the kind of understanding and frenzy that they have, it wouldn't be too difficult for them to get themselves or their heads into the game. It wouldn't be anything different from games that they've come together to play. I don't see it to be any vast difference with how they'll settle in or how they'll play. Rather, they would want to at least treat the home fans to some good game as well, and so make them see the quality at least they've seen on television and far off. So I am just hoping that they don't get under pressure to want to maybe impress, but they'll rather feel at home and have fun and play like they've played elsewhere for the Black Queens. So I'm not expecting any pressure on them. They're rather free, rather okay, and I think that the new girls who would have their first time here in Ghana, they should be able to. For Kim Lass, he's a traveler. The job has taken him places, and so some of these things will not really get to him that much. But I'm sure he'll be happy to see that the Ghanaian fans will turn up to at least support the team. Seeing that the fans there for the team, I think will be what Kim Lass will be looking forward to. But for the pressure or maybe the new environment, he's, well, maybe if I can say, overused to some of these things, because he's traveling to different countries to do the same job. So as the fans that will turn up, that will make him have a feel and say that, okay, this is how Ghanaian fans turn up to also come and watch their games.
Wonderful. In the wider picture of the qualifiers, listeners, there are other teams who are hoping to also seal their qualification today.
Yeah.
Of all the teams on the continent, Zambia is the only team that has made it so far through the qualification window. Morocco are there as hosts. They don't have a problem. So Zambia beat Namibia 7-2 on aggregate.
Yeah.
Imota, why are you looking at me? Imota, why are you looking at me? Why are you Imota? I don't like that. Imota, be very careful. Where's Gary? I'll report you to Gary that I'm doing the show and you are there staring at me with diabolical eyes. He have sent me as, okay, let me read this story. I don't even know where Immortal got this story from. Okay. Immortal. So this is what? This is from Facebook. Somebody posted this. Again, we can't confirm. Can you confirm this story, Immortal? Yo. Anyway, so Immortal is alleging. Now, hold on. I beg you. There's a Facebook account called Bola Yapazed. Bola Yapazed. I think that there are some adverts on Supersport when they talk about the Zambian league. They say Bola Yapazed. I don't know what it means. If there are any Zambians, explain that to me. However, now this post, as I see it, is crediting a gentleman called Augustine Mukoka. Okay? And the post says, quote, Confederation of African Football, and it says confederations. Suspect. Now, according to this, allegedly, Madame Nora Hutla was asked to sit in the stands because, according to this report, they said her UEFA coaching license had expired. Again, I cannot confirm. These are just reports.
Help us.
They said this was during the first leg away win to Namibia. Okay, now the story goes on to say that the license had expired, after which she could not be permitted onto the bench. I mean, that makes sense. If your license has expired, of course, you can't coach. The Swiss coach will have to renew her license to be permitted in the technical area in the return leg on Sunday. Again, these are alleged reports.
It was renewed because after the game, I saw pictures of her with the players. That's the second leg where they won 3-0.
You saw pictures of her with the players.
Yeah,
so this is after
talking about the first leg,
reportedly. What we are not sure of, you said you saw pictures. I've seen
pictures of her with the players after they won 3-0 with the qualified. There are lots of Zambians on Facebook. So I do get some of these information from that during the game, actually, and some pictures of her with the players during the game and after.
After the game, that can be explained.
Not outside though.
I'm saying that after the game, that can be explained away.
Yeah.
Because the game has ended. She can have
Maybe
the right.
We'll have to see if we'll get
to come onto the pitch.
videos to see if she really.
So what
starts.
we must confirm.
But this is after the first leg.
True. This is concerning the first leg. So what we need to confirm is whether or not she was on the bench for the second leg.
I'll get back and see.
No
We'll
problem.
get videos.
So we'll follow up on that. Anyway, the wider qualification picture is goalless between Angola and Malawi. So the second leg is today. DRC and South Africa 1-1 tied after the first leg. Tanzania and Ethiopia. Tanzania leads
South
Ethiopia.
Africa plays at home.
Yes, South Africa are going home
today.
Yes, let me just check the schedule. Hold on, just
it's a done deal.
How do you mean it's a done deal?
Bayana.
How do you mean?
They'll come back.
Yes, they are at home today.
Yeah,
they're actually playing at the Orlando Stadium in Joburg. Okay, so that is that. So Tanzania and Ethiopia. Tanzania lead 2-0 from the first leg.
For them as well, the reports they didn't travel with the realist.
South Africa.
Yeah, there were reports earlier that they didn't travel with her.
Okay, we'll have to follow up on that. And then Burkina Faso lead Togo 2-0 from the first leg. Algeria are 2-1 up against Cameroon from the first leg. All these return legs are set for today. Ghana leads Egypt 3-0. Kenya lead Gambia by 3-1. Nigeria lead Benin by 2. Mali lead Cape Verde by 1. Yes. And then Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire are locked goalless. So today's match is Malawi versus Angola, South Africa versus DRC, Ethiopia versus Tanzania, Togo versus Burkina Faso, Cameroon versus Algeria, Ghana versus Egypt, Gambia versus Kenya, Nigeria versus Benin, Mali taking on Cape Verde, and then Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal. Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal are locked goalless. They are locked goalless as we speak. And then South Africa and DRC are locked in a 1-1 encounter. So that is where we are now. Great. Now, in terms of tiebreakers, so those who are wondering, if the aggregate score is tied after the second leg, the away goals rule will be applied.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, and it is still tied, a penalty shootout will be played, no extra time. So meaning that, for example, the DRC and South Africa game, it cannot end in a draw.
Yeah.
Or else penalty shootout.
And the Senegal one.
Yes, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire versus Senegal. It also cannot end in a draw or else penalty shootout.
There'll be a WAFCON without either Senegal or Cote d'Ivoire.
So one of Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire will not make the WAFCON. That is what we are talking about.
And there could be a WAFCON with Kenya.
Kenya are leading Gambia by 3.
That's what I'm saying. So there could be a WAFCON with Kenya.
So they get to go. Nigeria lead Benin by 2, so that we know how it looks. Algeria lead Cameroon by 2-1. Cameroon are playing at home in Douala. Now, if Cameroon wins that game by a 0-0, they are through. So Algeria need to avoid defeat in that game to qualify. Burkina Faso lead Togo by 2-0, so we know what they must do. And then it's locked between South Africa and the DRC. Of course, Malawi versus Angola is also locked goalless. So a score draw or a draw of any kind does not help anybody. They will have to go into the penalty shootout. So for lovers of women's football on the continent, this is where we are. This is really where we are. Yes, today a lot of the games will be decided. Okay, Lilongwe at the Bingu National Stadium. That's where Malawi are playing. South Africa are hosting DRC at the Orlando Stadium. Ethiopia are hosting at the Abebe Bikila Stadium in Addis Ababa. Zambia have already made it. Togo are playing at the Stade de Kege in Lomé. Cameroon are at the Stade de la Réunification in Douala. Ghana playing at the Accra Sports Stadium. Gambia, they are playing in Senegal. Even though it's a home game for them, they are playing at the Stade Lat Dior in Thiès in Senegal. Nigeria at the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abeokuta. And then Mali at the Stade du 26 Mars in Bamako. While Cote d'Ivoire, no surprises, they are the Stade Félix Houphouët-Boigny in Abidjan. So that's the picture. That's what it looks like in terms of the qualifiers for the women's AFCON, next year's women's AFCON. Who are the top scorers? Well, Algeria's Gutia Kachuni, 4 goals. Rachel Kundanaji of Zambia, 4. And Adel Cabre of Burkina Faso also on 4. And then you have some other players in there as well. Now, because Ghana is just jumping in, Abigail, we have our scorers on 1 goal each. Miriam Ponsa, Grisa Santua, Doris Bredua, all on 1 goal each. Because we entered at the last.
In the last one, yeah.
If you're a big nation, you don't play round 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think we were drawn by together with 5 other countries from the first round, and so we didn't really get to play a lot of rounds, unlike Egypt, where they took on Rwanda and beat them 3-2 over the 2 legs, and also got to face Ghana. So for Egypt, they really are looking for it to be able to get back here. The last time they were here was like 10 years ago. That was in 2016. They ventured in Cameroon, but they couldn't make it out of the group stage. They were in Group A with the host as well. So they're really looking to at least upset us and then get in there. But unfortunately, one of their most dangerous players, I've always said, Habiba Essam, was red carded in that game against Ghana. That lady in number 10 jersey, she scored 2 of their 3 goals over 2 legs. So clearly she has some quality, and also she was the one that was taking all of those set pieces, their corner kicks and all of that. She's very good, but we were able to help her sit aside. So we are not going to see her today. So it shouldn't be a very difficult Egyptian side. This is a side that are also trying to get their names back onto the books in the continent. And for us, we shouldn't really look down on them, but just get out there, play our game, get our goals, and then get the job done with. On paper, they come nowhere near the quality we have. They know that. Individually, they do not come near the quality that we have. But football is football. Anything and everything can happen. Just a mistake. Who knew that Portia Bacho would have considered an own goal against Zambia the last time we wanted to play here in Accra? But they put up greater performances in Accra as well. So it's one of those things. I'm just hoping that we just have a good day, get our game on and right at the right time. We should bury this game at least in the first half, come back in the second half and just have fun.
I see. Well, the Queens are in action later today at 3:30 p.m. from the Accra Sports Stadium. So if you're not doing anything this afternoon, go and watch the Black Queens. They are hoping to seal their AFCON place in Egypt. We've underlined the importance of the next WAFCON because it is the WAFCON that will send 4 teams to the World Cup. 4 teams. So the quest for Ghana is to, 1, first qualify for the WAFCON and then make the semi-final. That's it. Once you make the semi-final, you are representing Africa in the next World Cup. And then Ghana can decide, okay, now do we want to win it? So very important. This WAFCON is extremely important. So all hands on deck. And there'll be live commentary on this particular game involving Ghana and Egypt from the Accra Sports Stadium. Abigail Senasosu and her gang will be giving us live commentary. So tune in to Sporty 106.1 FM for live updates concerning the Black Queens as they take on. Abigail, I was pleasantly surprised to see that the Egyptian team is called the Cleopatras. I think quite apt.
Because Ifeka was also fascinated about
quite
that.
apt. Because if the men's team are the Pharaohs, I think it makes sense to call them the Cleopatras.
No, very nice name.
The Cleopatras, yes.
But the queens will show up.
Of course, they have to. Cleopatra herself was a brilliant queen, highly political in her day. She knew how to play the game.
Sound their way.
What?
The real queen.
The real queens. So 3:30 p.m. That's time for kickoff, and there'll be live commentary. Abigail Senasos will be on to guide us through that game as the Black Queens hope to seal the deal and make it to the next WAFCON. It's a very interesting time for women's football, even globally. I see national teams playing in friendlies. For example, England are playing Australia. England lost to Brazil over the weekend, I think, by 2-1, or was it Friday? And there are some Nations League games as well. So, yeah. It's a good time for women's football. All of them are hoping to get together, prep for the World Cup in 2027 in Brazil. That's where the Black Queens will hope to be. For the Black Queens themselves, they are taking on England in a friendly in December. It's a huge friendly. It's what arguably, Abigail, is this the biggest friendly in the history of the Queens?
Yes.
The biggest friendly.
The biggest.
Wow. Ghana, England, or England, Ghana.
Ghana.
In Southampton.
Yes.
Wow.
December 2nd.
That is a very huge game.
Yeah.
Huge game. I can't remember the last time the Queens played a game of this size. You can argue that the Ghana-Zambia thing was big because there was Olympic qualification.
Yeah.
But this is big just in terms of being out there, right? Playing one of the best teams in the world, defending Euro champions, back-to-back Euro winners. It's good. It's good. It would be nice to see the Queens flex their muscles again.
Why are you smiling?
No, I'm happy.
That's sarcastic.
Oh, how?
Flex their muscles and you're
It's not to flex their muscles. Proverbial muscles, not literal muscles.
No, I hope people are not bothered about winning the scoreline or...
Oh, no, but...
Friendlies are not basically about...
I would love to see a performance. I just want to see...
Where performance means...
For example, now should Ghana qualify for the World Cup, it will be teams like England and co.
Of course.
So, with the World Cup being... As of the time of the friendly, it will be 1 year and some months, right? So, you play England just to... measure where you are against the rest of the world
before you get into Africa.
Before now, when you see your level, you see that this is what we lack. So we go to the AFCON, we get to the semis, and you prepare potentially to meet England again, maybe. But I just want to see attitude. I want to see a good display, players fighting for each other, players not getting overawed by the occasion, right? Not seeing England and being starstruck. No, get in there, fight, push. You may or may not win, but you see, once you test yourself at that level, you will know what you are lacking.
But on that score, if we are going to go with this score, at least it will be fair to say that we just have one local player. The rest are all out there, and I've had that exposure. I've seen it on like people come out at big stadiums and big stages like that. We have our players scattered in Spain, Albania, even UK, Turkey, and the like. So I think that on that score, maybe we'll be up there a little. It will be at least a 7/10. To be overawed by that exposure. They all have it now. If these are the ladies that will still go, barring any injuries, anything can happen. I'm not hoping anyone gets injured, or if Kim feels that the other players get other players on board. But if these are the same crop, and I think that they've had that exposure over time. Okay,
well, it will be good. I'm happy for them. It's a great thing. Whoever put that friendly together, thumbs up to you. And you see, and I'd love to see the Queens get a lot more of these. It's England, wonderful. The next time,
maybe South Africa.
If you can get South Africa, great.
Zambia.
If you can get Zambia, wonderful. Yes, it's nice for the banter, the grudge match, the narrative. I like it. If you can get to play against other top countries, Australia, Spain, the Netherlands, France, when you do these things, then you start to see where you lack. So I hope we'll get to see a lot more of this one. But I'm delighted.
I'm positive it's the beginning of greater things to come. I'm sure, like you said, whatever performance we put out there should also tell the other countries we are mentioning that, okay, they at least measure up to the level we would want to see in friendlies. And the next time we get back, we get calls from France. It's too far.
No, we'll go there. We'll go there.
We got calls from the France, the South Africa, the Australia, the Netherlands, like you are talking about. So, like, it brings us back to the performance. Hopefully, they show up really good.
Wonderful stuff. So the Black Queens are in action today. It will be nice to see them play. So as I said, if you are not doing anything and you are free from 3 p.m., go to the stadium, go and cheer the Black Queens. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. It's a minute after 8. You can send in your comments 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. I will be getting to some of your WhatsApp messages in a bit. But yeah, maybe we can take some calls. Let's take some calls. I don't know what's on the minds of Ghanaians this morning from a sporting sense. Maybe they want to talk about Ghana Premier League clubs not having enough money, the financial reality of that. Because Asante Kotoko's comms director, Safu Duku, was talking about the fact that they needed to move the player on because of money. So you can send me your thoughts and comments. 054 257 1061. The Black Queens play later today against Egypt. What are your thoughts on the Black Queens? If you have any other thing you want to say, you can please do that. 054 257 1061 030 279 4805. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm Dada Rich calling from WAFCON Special.
All right, Dada Rich, please go ahead.
We read the Black Queens all the best. I think this game will be normal for us today. We lead 3-0. So I think it will be normal.
Okay.
Right. And back to Kotoko. Now, if I can have a time or more, trouble. Almost when you could see things. Looking for your place, study I told you to play looking for seeing your bosom. Who is a bosom? No, bosom. I can do 500 and the other Ghana. No first career team. No two players, quality players, and funny team. And I'll bet the man, I'll bet more. Any with that, however, so what could you? So mobile communication director, what now? What you want to kasa lawyer. I do who can't overcome him. Kasa now final query. Now Kotoko sign to one of over 3 FA Cup. Now Omakoji are 1 penalty. The owners are penalty now. GDT are the golden kicks for. And then they lead you more to that field one. Yanko from the way I show. When you know what parks happen to our GT are good in 6 way. Yanko Pon show my uncle when him down. We had the car over it. And no instance and so no more. Next time, cover via over here. All right.
Okay. 4 minutes after 8. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Caller. How you doing?
Yes, I'm fine.
Charlie. Wish out to
yeah, Emmanuel, is that you?
Yeah, my name is Kumo.
Your name is what?
Kumo.
Kumo.
Kunya and Mbwembo.
Kunya and Mbwembo. So Kunya and Mbwembo, when you put that together, you get Kumo. Okay, all right. Hey.
Go by you. Linda.
Yes.
See, me, I don't blame Abigail one bit.
Why?
If you do your things well, we would not have gotten to this where we are now. If you are able to do your things well, we would not be. See, yesterday I came across some videos, like some of your colleagues were saying that Abigail and some journalists were affiliated to the FA. And they are trying to name the name of the honorable minister. I saw the video for some of your colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
But not on the station.
Yeah, I get it. But do you think that we would want to dent the minister's image?
That's why you cannot see some of these journalists.
It's all right.
I don't know. They don't know their work.
I don't know the school of journalism that they went to.
No, Emmanuel, it's fine. So you disagree with what they said. It's okay. Nobody will destroy the minister. It's okay. let's move on. Emmanuel, let's move on.
So the sports minister was saying something yesterday that if the girls don't play the match, the CAF will sanction this.
It's okay. The minister did not say that, Emmanuel. So let's proceed.
So, yesterday, I heard the minister speaking about that.
And he said he did not say that. So let us proceed, Emmanuel. Let us proceed.
No, so what did he say? I heard that's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying that the minister says he did not say that. So let us proceed.
Wait, yesterday I heard the voice of the minister saying that.
Okay, what did he say?
You know, let me finish what I'm going to say.
Okay, so now I'm saying, what did he say? Because he has also said that he didn't say that at the meeting.
This one is a voice that it was played by the voice of the minister.
And I'm saying, I haven't heard this said voice you are talking about. So I cannot, so I haven't heard, so I cannot confirm what you are saying that, okay, he actually said it or he didn't say it. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what I mean. I get what Nathan. And the sports minister and the finance minister. I don't know taking their salary at the end of the month.
Okay, so what has that got to do with this?
So sometimes they are just taking the girls for granted. Like, you know that they go and break the girls and the girls will come and play. And you can't be doing this all this time. Always promising the girls. And do you think they don't know what they are doing? They know what they are doing.
Okay, they said
always promising the girls.
No problem, but they said they were working on it, so we'll have to wait.
Working for how many months?
I don't know.
$200,000 for how many months? Like seriously in Ghana here. What are we talking about? Sometimes it's like we are taking the girls for granted. Because sometimes we do things that is very painful.
Okay, that I understand. It's quite painful.
It's very unfair.
Relax. So the ministry
it's very unfair, Nathan.
Take it. I understand you. I understand. The ministry says they are working on it. Okay. So
you are working on it for how many months?
We do not.
How many months?
We do not.
$200,000.
We'll find out
like, seriously.
as we go along. Okay, Emmanuel, let me bring other calls.
Charlie,
I beg.
Nathan, no, Charlie,
Emmanuel, relax, Emmanuel. I understand you. I understand how you feel. Okay, so it's okay. You've made your point. I agree. I'm in your corner. We are all upset. Okay. Hopefully.
So you have a good morning.
All right. You take care then. People. 9 minutes after 8. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Yeah, good morning to the emerging brand of the year.
Michael, how are you doing?
I'm fine, what's you? Emmanuel, the worry power. I swear, like, I want to see this guy. Like, if you organize this, like, Annabelle, Emmanuel, John from Katua, and like make we meet, okay?
You want to meet your fellow callers?
Yeah, good.
No problem. I'm sure when we organize an event, they will all come.
Yeah, because Charlie, they worry, they worry of Charlie. Shout out to Emmanuel, Charlie. They don't know your location too.
He won't tell you where he's calling from.
Anonymous, they don't your location that. But then, Nathan, this morning I want to talk about something serious.
Okay.
It's about Kotoko.
Okay.
You see, in the past, you check in the 90s, in the Champions League, in the 80s, you could see Red Star Belgrade, you could see Sampdoria, you could see teams. But then, what is their current state right now?
Oh, but Red Star Belgrade, they are still around.
You play, but then when it gets to the crunch time, see, early in the stages, so similar situation to Kotoko. In the 80s, in the 90s, they were very powerful. They were playing very well. They had 2 Champions League, but then what is the current situation right now? Why are they not following the trend? Or why are they not continuing with what they did in the past? You see, because in 1992, Sampdoria played the final against
Barcelona, yes.
But then currently, where is Sampdoria?
They are somewhere in the system.
You see, so what went wrong? What really went wrong? That is the situation of Kotoko has. Because once upon a time, Koto was rocking shoulders with El Ali, Zamalek, in the past, but then currently they are now a small team, even though they just parade themselves as a big team, but then in reality they are just a small team. And you know something, one thing about our teams is that our conditioning is not very good. If you like check the match against WAC of Morocco, and even if you like check about the matches we play against this North African team, you see in the first half we have energy, we play, but then when it gets to the 60th minute, our energy levels drop. That is where they start scoring their goals. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that's true.
Again, Midiama and Elali, they played very well. Felix was all over, but then when they came to the second half, that is where they started scoring their goals. So the condition of our players and like their psyche, their behavior, we are not at par with those North African teams. So when we pair them against these North African teams, then we know that because you could see that during the 50th minute, that is where WAC of Morocco, that's where their energy levels rose very high. They were playing high intensity. So in the first half, they gave us our chance to play. That's where we equalized, and it was 2-1. So when watching the game, you think that, oh, Kotoko will be in the game. But then in the second half, when our energy levels drop, that is when they started scoring their goals.
I see. So it's a matter of conditioning.
It's conditioning. And last time I was listening to a coach on another radio. He said it is true. That is how the Ghana Premier League level is. Our condition or our energy levels drop from the 60th minute. So when I was watching the game, Kotoko played very well in the first half. But then in the second half, you could see that, where's my bread? They were running. The work Morocco for almost took me they were going.
I see.
To me. So they wait for you to exert all your energy in the first half. Then in the second half, the honor who will show them kasa. And that's all, Papa. It will part check you. They check you na some bar. I will know the bomb to boss. Some person. Second half now, wow, journal. I want to so machine is using. So no one say you bit me the best 7. You put it out check it. Almost shower. Second half now.
Yeah, of course.
Within the space of about 3-5 minutes, which need the better or now. That time concentration or energy level are dropping.
Okay.
If you got a phone, and I said teams in Ghana, no, just say you were quite chat. We have a very long way to go. Because you know, mom ben, even crying you, Alali Omduma for Cram Ben, Nanka is a work of Morocco and Elali. So we have a long way to go. And your man kitchen was in front of Queen because I said there, the Bequaba de be a Bequaba de be Quadabi, Abadibia. Anyway, it seems no, or someone to tune in my, you have to put things in order because Hakim Ziyech about work of Morocco. Hakim Ziyech, Champions League winner, I was saying. About work of Morocco. Then a man about. Okay. Then I work for one, but now I'm asking Hakim Ziyech at this time.
Good question. Michael, thank you so much. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Let me take this caller on the other line. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Paul.
Yes, good morning.
This is Augustine from Kaswa.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is the first time calling Serena. I want to contribute on commercials on the Kosovo.
Okay.
Well, I think so. With regards to the CAF Champions League, Confederation Cup,
the Confederation Cup,
to work. Yeah, I think it has more to do with some technicalities and science more than player performance. Because when work came to Ghana, we saw the way they played. They played against Sante Kotoko. You understand? The same things applied to Accra House of Hope when they came. House led them 1-0, and then House went there, and House considered safe goals. The same thing to apply to Kumasi and Sante Kotoko. They came, Kotoko created numerous opportunities that they could have buried. You understand? But then Kotoko will go there, and now Kotoko will just fall flat. So I think it's a matter of we sitting back and then analyzing again. What happens when we go there? You know, sometimes it will be maybe the pitch that they are playing on. Is it a boot that we are using? Is it a climatic conditions? Like what goes on there? Is it an atmosphere at the stadium or what? You understand? So once they came, they played the same set of players, and now it was just one goal difference, and then you go to their home ground, and then they beat you 5-0 or something. So I think we should be looking into those things, because for financial strength, I don't think we will be able to come at par with the North African things because of how far they've gone in managing their football.
Yeah, but don't you think that is where a big difference is made? Because if you have money, you can now buy the best players, or you can buy the better players, and in a match, those players can make the difference for you.
Yes, this is because when you pick a country like Ghana, we have a pool of talented players. They don't have it. They don't have it. Therefore, they'll have to do thorough scouting and put in money to get those level of players. Do you understand? But we have a pool of players. So if they are going to buy Hakim Ziyech, I mean, Hakim Ziyech right now, trust me, he's in the twilight of his career. And I don't think it's for footballing really. So he will give something on the pitch, but I don't think it's necessary for footballing really. But in Ghana, you get a lot of players that will fit into the play. It is about talent development. You understand? So we allow a lot.
So meaning that, so when you mention talent development, then it means that our players may not necessarily be at that level. It will take some processing, some developing for them to get to that level.
Good. So we should look into other factors like facilities and all this. So as to bring up our talent to a certain level, so that even if we export them to the Western world, at least they will have a certain foundation. Because even in the Premier League that we are playing, when you look at certain pattern of play, and if you are a manager and you sit back and you are looking at them, sometimes you realize, so these players are being coached by, a handler of a UEFA license pro. Or because sometimes the way they even interchange their passes, players' movement of the pitch, of the ball, on the ball movement is really bad. So I think we should look into other things rather than thinking that it's because they have the money. Because if you look at the models that our clubs are really running, sometimes I just ask myself, like, how are they able to run their clubs, and how have they been able to do that over these years? Because if you look at their revenue generation, it's not so clear. Is it from player sales? So I think we should look into our football really well.
Okay.
Just, come up with a conclusion. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. 819-054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Let me take this caller. Hello. 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 This can't get this caller. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Right. I'll be getting into Safuduku's bit. The story is on 3news.com/sports. I read the story in its entirety because I think in there lies a very interesting thing about the financial state of Ghanaian clubs. Hello.
Yeah, bro. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Oh, okay. I just want to make a little contribution towards the sports minister's issue.
What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Yes, my name is PK. I'm calling from Mamobi.
Okay.
I think before even the World Cup qualifies, there was a statement from Sanidara. I think that issue came on Facebook or something like that, where you wrote that which foolish or stupid commander will reduce the listing. I think the bonuses of his military, and at the end of the day, he thinks that the military should go and perform for the commander. Yeah, you remember that?
I remember we interviewed Sunny about it.
Thank you. You see, there is a plan, an agenda for the man to fail.
Okay.
Right
now it's alleged. So that's what you are alleging.
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Hold on. So you are alleging. So you believe there is a plan?
Yes.
So you believe so?
Yes. Okay. So please, we beg them. Kofi Adams is a strong man. He doesn't go with those kind of pettiness or issues that people will be calling to be insulting him. He is focused. He knows what he wants to do. They should leave him to do it. If he fails, we know that he fails. Then we can judge him based on his performance. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, PK. 821. Your WhatsApp messages are equally welcome. 0542571061. I'm laughing because I'm seeing the front page of a sports medicine book titled Sports Medicine, The Jollof Rice Principles by Dr. Anienema George Chidi, as to how he decided to add jollof to this one. I can't explain it. I can't. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, I call from Oyibi.
Okay.
My name is Hayat.
Okay, please go ahead.
J'ai dit, hein? Tu me comprends?
Oui, je te comprends.
Je dis, like the chiffres de number, numéro. Des fois, si tu donnes là, il faut donner doucement. Il y a un vieux à côté de moi. Il n'arrive pas à capter les numéros, quoi.
Le numéro de téléphone?
Oui.
Ok. Tu veux que je dis ça doucement?
Des fois... Ok.
Ok, il n'y a pas de problème. Quel numéro? On a deux numéros. Lequel?
Non, c'est ce numéro-là, quoi. Il a tenté pour capter le numéro. Quand tu appelles, il n'arrive pas, quoi.
Oh, ok. Il n'y a pas de problème. Okay. Je dis ça doucement.
Ok.
Ok. Passez une très bonne journée.
À tout à l'heure.
Oui, à tout à l'heure.
Ok.
All right. So, for those who didn't quite understand what Hayat said, he was speaking French. He was saying that the numbers, somebody wants to write down the numbers, and I tend to mention it a bit too quickly. So I'll take my time to mention the numbers going for it. It's not me. It's not me. It's like habits. Sometimes you are so pressed for time. Anyway, let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Sorry.
Good morning.
This is John from Ghana.
Okay, John. Let's hear from you, please.
I would like to take my member.
Okay, John, can you hold on? I want you to reposition yourself. Your line is breaking up.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, but your line is breaking up. It makes hearing you difficult. Okay, John, you know what? Please call us back if you can. Please call us back. Okay, so the numbers 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. Okay, let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Osben, calling from North Industrial.
All right, Osben, please go ahead.
Okay, so we wish the Black Queens all the best. I know this game is just a mere formality. If we presented the Black themselves, we're going to beat them. So this one here, they should give them like 5 for us. With our clubs going to Africa, later I'm not sure any of our clubs are ready for Africa anytime soon.
Okay.
One, we are not there yet. We are not there. Our preps for even participating in Africa is not even right. The last time we saw a Ghanaian club dominate a European club was a North African team was when Bekum Chelsea took Raja Casablanca to Bekum. And then gave them 5.
Okay.
If we were today, would CAF allow Chelsea to play there?
Interesting question.
So we are not ready. Yeah, Kotoko, you go and lose, and the next minute you sold your cash cow because you need the money. When you win the Ghana Premier League, how much are you given? Look at the investment some of these teams are giving to their clubs. The likes of Ali. We can't compete. We can't. We are even selling our best players to them. So how do you progress? So we have a long way to go. One, we need financing. Two, we need facilities. How can you play a team like Kotoko? Play their home game away from home? And how do you expect to qualify? You saw the numbers when WAC were playing at home. The numbers itself will even intimidate you. Look at the numbers in Accra. They felt comfortable. They felt at home. If Kotoko had played the first leg in Kumasi, the results here would have been different. So, for me, if the GFA can ban anything from going from Africa for some time, it will be good for us because we don't go and make.
But the FA can, yeah, but if you don't go, you are risking a ban.
Later, we are just going to add up to the numbers.
Okay, so you think that?
Yeah. Are you hearing a Kenyan team? I don't know whether it's Kenya. A second division team is going to play the Confederations Cup.
Yes. I saw that. Gary shared that info a few days ago. So they were a Division 1 team, and I think they won the Kenyan Cup, and then they've qualified to the group stage of the Confederation Cup.
Why Ghana? You have 2 reps. You can't do anything. It's very, very disheartening because growing up, we were in love with our league.
Yeah. And
when our clubs go to Africa, we are happy. I remember very well 2000 Accra to 2004 when Kotoko has met in the Confederations Cup final.
Yeah.
That is when you were feeling the impact of your team.
Yeah.
But now
you are talking about Division 1 clubs. I remember when Nania won the FA Cup. They qualified, but they couldn't go.
They couldn't go.
You know.
You win the Ghana Premier League and you are giving how much? And then the teams are giving 1 million Ghana cedis and they are happy. Ali is buying a player from Sweden, an Ivorian striker, for $1.5 million. Can we? Nathan, have a good morning.
All right, thank you so much. 8:29. Let's take one more call, and then we can proceed with the conversation. I'll read you the Albert Amwa story because, as I said, in there lies the thing that bothers me the most, right? But let's proceed. Hello,
Neta. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Katel, calling from Asutari.
Okay, please go ahead.
Neta, please, the ladies, our ladies. If our ladies perform, that is where the growing come to the men too.
Okay.
In fact, for the past 8 years, our Ghana football have been tormented mercilessly. This cat mouth have been closed for the past 8 years. But as NDC resume, let's start talking.
Oh. Then why are you even saying this? Why are you saying this?
In fact, let me tell you something.
Let's just stick to the football. Why are we adding the politics to all of this? Why?
We have to add to it because things are changing now. I'm seeing things are changing in the GFA. Things are going well.
How are things changing in the GFA?
Yes. You see, the talking point have not been coming. In the past 8-year regime, very mercilessly talking have been coming. But now, for the past 9 months, we have seen things are working well. The girls have to play. The only thing I will tell you is that the girls have to play for us. They have to play in their hearts of things. The last week, we complained about something in this studio. We did 1 week. Things have changed. Things have been done well. about the boxing area. We complain a lot. But I'm telling you now, boxing, they ban boxing for just few weeks or few months. Things have changed. A little things have changed about boxing for now. For just 2 days, I'm telling you. I'm telling you that this will work well.
Okay.
But the ladies, if they have not been paid, they should play well for us today in favor of the nation. We know if you are doing some work and they have not been given the growing, it pays. But what? We beg our ladies today, the stadium is going to be full up. So they should come up and do the celebration for us. If they didn't give them even the kupo krapo, they should do the good work for us. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Let me understand this one. But anyway, let's proceed. 8:31. This is the Sporty Breakfast. You can send in your WhatsApp message on 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. Let me take the final caller and then we proceed. Oh Lord. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
What's your name and why are you calling from, please? Good morning.
Okay, my name is Jose. I think where am I? I'm around Labadi.
Okay. You are on the move.
Sure. So as the last caller said, we're grateful that the ladies are going to play today, and there's nothing obvious, but you know that they are going to qualify, and we pray that they do qualify. But Nathan, Elenoku, ke alebu lady asu kaneke kweo you see, so it's yesterday, even though I enjoyed Raymond's contribution for a long time, he's not been around. I was a bit surprised. You see, Raymond there when we learn, and it's not that we know him because we know him that if I put it blank, he doesn't tolerate something. You see, fine. He's telling us that his sources also tell us something that.
Okay, you know, we've moved on from this, so it's all right. We've moved on from this. Okay, let's just close the door. Relax. Let's just close the door on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that for protocol, with Nathan, the issue is that you see, protocol needs to make money. Really, a club cannot be there and it's not making money, and you cannot always be going to 2-4 for money. It doesn't happen. Which organization will be there and every day you are going for money and there is no return that you come every time you are drawing. So you see, it makes it difficult for when to take decisions like selling your best player. You have to sell, because that's one of the surest ways you can make money for the club.
Okay.
And if they don't do it, even though we are all not happy about the fact that they have sold them, but Nathan, what else are they going? What else? If no club in Ghana will see that money that they are using to buy this player, and they will say that, oh, no, this is our best player, let's leave him to play. So the bottom line of it is that we should find ways to make our clubs resourceful.
Okay.
If they are resourceful, they can take decisions on their own and say that, oh, we will keep this player for the next 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
But in the situation in which we are, even though we are not happy, we just have to understand that that's the only decision the team can take to survive.
So you're saying that the clubs have no choice?
What choice? Nathan, I sincerely, what choice does the club have? To see this money, and you are going to, when they went to Africa, look at the money that they have spent, the air tickets and all this, and all these things, and all this money, they drew this money from the sponsorship they have with what's it, Well and Sligo and all those things. So that's where they are drawing money to, and that coffers is empty, I'm telling you. That coffers is empty because they didn't want to go to 2-4 for money. You don't want to go to 2-4 for money. So you have to find a way to fund the organization. And now that the coffers is empty, and you have someone bringing you this amount of money, oh, and you see, the other issue is that later, players themselves, when it didn't come their way, some of them go and call their family members and go and call on their chiefs and other to and pray on the management to let them go. Because later, the player has families that taking care of. If they don't go for, if
1 year, if you are playing and somebody just touch you and you fall down, that is your end. Oh.
That is true.
That is your end. So you see, right, the football economy is not good. Once it is not good, players here at Abadan, even Togo, one day will be
yes. Oh, players go to no. Players go to Togo. It's not one day. Players are actually playing in Togo. That is a fact.
So if I love the conversation that Sporty Breakfast had last night with Patrick Boama. You see, it is clear if we don't enrich the football economy, we are going to have our players move out in groups. Some of them are half big, some of them are not big, some of them are well big. They will all want to go outside the country. And even though we are trying to produce more, because I also understand the economy in two ways. The other way is that Brazil have been shipping all their best players out of the country. They do it. But the football there is not bad. You can't tell me that their league is bad. No. But every year, from statistics, Brazil ships the most players out of their country.
They sell a lot of players.
Yes, they sell a lot of players, and the league is still fantastic, and they are still producing. So we have to look at it from two folds. If we are shipping, we should also put in mechanism to produce more. The more we produce, the more we can ship, and we can still keep our economy, our football economy in good shape, and we can run on. We shouldn't be fixated with the players going. If the player doesn't go, what we know about Piale? He's the one taking care of his family. He is going to say he shouldn't go. He will be there. The two force or Channel will come to the management committee and say, please, this one, his mother has called me. Let him go.
Okay.
So I think that we should all talk to the government to ensure that the football economy is really, really enhanced so that we can ship more, we can produce more, and our football will be okay. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Okay, we'll put a pause on the calls for now. The thing, though, when we talk about the football economy, where is Immortal? Yesterday, Immortal was making a point that the football economy cannot exist outside the regular economy. So Immortal's argument is that the country's economy has to be strong enough to now carry the burden of the football economy. Some people think that you can isolate the football economy alone and make it work. I don't know. If there are any economists, please let me know. 8:38. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Let me read you what Mr. Safuduku said. Okay. Now this story was published on the 25th of October on 3news.com/sport, and the story's headline is Kotoko cite financial reality behind Albert Amwe's transfer to El Ahly Benghazi. Now El Ahly Benghazi is a Libyan club. Okay. Now, Asante Kotoko's communications director, Samuel Safuduku, says the club's decision to sell top striker Albert Amwa to El Ahly Benghazi was driven by financial realities and player interest. He insists the transfer deal was finalized after the CAF Confed Cup tie in Morocco. Mr. Samuel Safuduku has shed light on the circumstances surrounding the transfer of star forward Albert Amwa to Libyan giants El Ahly Benghazi, confirming that the deal was finalized only after the club's Confed Cup defeat in Morocco. Speaking in an exclusive interview with Love FM in Kumasi, Safuduku clarified that no agreement had been reached before the team's trip for the second leg tie against Wydad Athletic Club, contrary to public speculation. He said, quote, "Let me put on record that before we left for the second leg, no agreement had been reached with the Libyan club. In fact, the agreement was reached after the match." End quote. He explained that the delay in concluding negotiations was partly due to Kotoko's initial desire to continue discussions and possibly retain the player a bit longer. However, the Libyan FA's transfer registration deadline forced the club to act swiftly. Quote, "We had wanted to extend the conversation. Unfortunately, the Libyan Federation had to close their registration yesterday, so we also had to consider the interest of the player as against that of the club." End quote. According to him, talks with El Ahly Benghazi had started way back and involved several other suitors. But when the North African side indicated urgency due to the registration deadline, Kotoko opted for a deal that was mutually beneficial to all parties.
Sporty FM.
Duku also stressed that the club's financial realities, noting that while some fans may disagree with selling Amoa mid-season, the transfer was necessary to sustain the running of the club. Quote, don't forget that Kotoko also needs money to run the club. There is a school of thought which believes that it is not the best to transfer the player at this stage. But if you are into football in Ghana at this stage, I am sure you will agree with us. End quote. He declined to disclose the transfer fee, but hinted that the amount was significant by Ghanaian standards. Quote, I am not permitted to disclose the figure, but by the Ghanaian standard, I think it is okay. It is really good. End quote, he emphasized. So those are the words of Mr. Samuel Safuduku explaining the logic behind selling Albert Amoa to El Ahly Benghazi. Okay, that's what he said. So he's quoted by 3news.com on the financial realities facing Asante Kotoko. He says the club needs to survive. He says the clubs need to survive. And so, or the club, this one is Asante Kotoko. So let me talk about the club. He says the club needs to survive. And so they had to make a decision. They had to sell Albert Amoa to El Ahly Benghazi of Libya. Okay? And he says that if you are in Ghana football, you kindly know that if you don't, you will be struggling. Okay? So that is the story. And I guess it's not only Asante Kotoko. Several other clubs are in positions where they are forced to sell their players because they will have to stay afloat. But the question is, why do Ghanaian clubs, why are they unable to keep the players? Why are Ghanaian clubs not in the strongest place financially? Why aren't the Ghanaian clubs in the strongest place financially? Is it their own doing? Is it the general state of Ghana's economy? Or is it the football economy in isolation, which is not good? Right? Why is it that Ghanaian clubs cannot make enough money? Why are they struggling? Because in the Ghana Premier League, for example, I watched the clips. I've been watching the clips. Kelvin Owusu answered there. He's hands-on with the Ghana Premier League. And Kelvin, you can confirm my suspicion. When I watched a lot of the videos, I noticed that the grounds are not full. The grounds are not full. People are not going to the stadia to watch the games. So even on the side of even gate proceeds, there's a big problem. And then you have the larger football economy that is probably not generating as much money as we ought to, or as it ought to. So you are forced to see things like Asante Kotoko selling Albert Amoa mid-season into the season. They've had to sell their top striker, one of their most important players, because of finances, because there's no money. There's simply no money, and they need to make that decision. I don't know, Kelvin, I don't know what you make of this, but Samuel Duku's interview with Love FM, as transcribed or as reported by 3 News, is a very revealing interview. He says the reality. The club was faced with the reality of a lack of money, so they had to make a decision and move Albert Amoa on in order for some money to come into the account or the kitty, so they can exist and survive as a club.
Well, these situations will continue to exist, and it's not going to end. Yes, in the Ghana Premier League anytime soon. It's a problem that we may have to deal with, which doesn't come, do I say easy?
Mm-hmm.
The league itself, if you ask yourself how valuable is it, how rewarding is it at the end of every season, and you ask yourself, is this something that I should continue to spend too much money on and then in keeping, the player? Now, one thing is the club may have wanted to even keep some of the players that they've sold, but where it is now, they don't have, number one, that financial backing because of inadequate sponsorship or lucrative sponsorship deals. Ask yourself, those days when Asante Kotoko had Ariba, they had, Space Phone, they had Guinness, that Malta Guinness, I should say, MTN, with other sponsors. I remember KK Sapo's partnership, he got Puma jerseys and all that. Those times, the team could afford to keep some of their most valuable players. But in the last couple of years, ask yourself, Asante Kotoko, how much do they earn from Hisense? How much do they earn from, is it the Koba deal which they recently, how many sponsors do they even have? And how much money comes to them at the end of every, month? They have tried to use the supporters to amass wealth, or do I say some financial backing to support the club. But it hasn't been, too easy for them. Most of the fans have not even enrolled on the Fabu Census project. All they think about is the club should do well, should go to the stadium. How much money? Now, the league sincerely decided to decline when all of us, whether you were involved or you were not involved, all of us as sports journalists and media men decided to tarnish the reputation of our league, calling it all sorts of names. League Tantan, League Phone. It affects branding. People didn't know. But if I am a corporate institution and I listen to radio and I am told, Ghana League in India, League Tantan, League Phone, this is what the journalists, the people who are involved in covering the game are even saying. If this is what they are saying, why should I come and invest my money in it? And now people who ideally had good hearts and want to go to the stadium were consistently being told that the league is not lucrative, it's not rewarding. So they were also not willing to get to the various venues and watch the league. And, patronage decided to drop. Once patronage drops, it means that the gate proceeds going to drop. The team becomes less attractive because as a company, if I come to you that I'm coming to watch, I'm coming to sponsor you, I expect that majority of the stadium is filled to the point that I can have enough people coming to see my brand. But if I have like a 1/10 of the Baba Sports Stadium full, then where is it? I'll decide to put my money, give it to influencers, and they will go on X. Give me the 40K people, the 10K views, and all that. That is better than the stadium where you give me less than even 10,000 people identifying my brand.
You just hold that thought for me. Let me go to the line. Jerome Motri is joining us. Jerome Motri is our colleague journalist, ex-editor of the Asante Kotoko Express. Jerome, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan, and good morning to Kelvin. I haven't seen him in a while.
I know you are away, so I'll just wait for you patiently.
I did.
Jerome, I'm sure you want to have your 2 cents on this. I saw the story yesterday, but it's this morning that we are going into it. Safaduku's comments on the very harsh financial reality facing Asante Kotoko that necessitated their decision to sell Albert Amwa. I say yes, it's from Safuduku, but I think it is just a microcosm of what we see all across the league, just the state of the football economy and clubs not having enough financial muscle to do some of the big things we think they should be able to do on the continent.
I agree with you completely. This is the true reflection of what pertains at our clubs across the board. I mean, this is not just a Kotoko problem. It is a problem of Ghana football. And it doesn't surprise me. I've seen one or two of my Kotoko friends, one guy in Kumasi, Emba, taking on Safuduku all over on Facebook. And I've been telling him that, look, some of us spoke about these things some 10, 15 years ago, and we were insulted. The question we have to ask ourselves, and I completely agree with Safuduku, our standard is far below what we see on the continent. The question we have to ask ourselves is, what model of football administration are we running in Ghana or even at Kotoko? I mean, this is with what model of football in these times is Kotoko running? You see, we have become a people who are not ready to accept scientific things. And we think that we can always go by feelings and emotions and sentiments and free speech and opinion. Those things, they don't have any weight. What has weight is scientific data. So that based on that scientific data, you are able to take decisions. But if decisions are taken on the spur of the moment, impulsive feelings, you are going to suffer the sort of defeat that we all witness. The point I'm making is that even if Kotoko is selling Amwa, and I have nothing wrong against that decision because this is what we have been doing. With a lot of respect, Dr. Keke Sapon started this thing. He told us that, look, we need to sell and be able to see if we can replace. And we would have to run that model for some time so that we make a bit of financial investment and see how much we can get over, let's say, 3 to 5 years, maximum 7 years, by selling of players and by replacing them, and see whether that model will be able to sustain the club. So that after 5, 7 years of running that so-called Tonaton model, if we're able to get something out of it, then we see how we can position the club. And a lot of our supporters, some of our supporters did not understand this. Even leadership, some leaders around that time were lambasting with support of sections of the media, were lambasting KK Sapon for coming out with such a model. But in reality, this is what we have been doing. When did KK Sapon leave Kotoko? 2013. We are in 2025. 12 years down the line, even that model, we can run it. Yet, when we qualify for Africa, suddenly people spring up to give assurances, to give hope. And I keep saying that not until we stop those emotional talk and return to the basics, which is how do we want to run Kotoko and with what money? Even if it's $200,000 you have, that is what you have. So you do with what you have based on what the scientific data is telling you. But our situation has become one of feelings and emotions and people giving promises here and there. I am happy that people like Safuduku are realizing this now, because some time ago when we told them, they didn't understand that you cannot go this way of always chopping and changing. Yes, players go, players come, but there must be some level of consistency so that even if you don't have what it takes to keep the player, you make plans such that in some years to come, you will be able to keep at least one or two. And that's not what we are doing. So there is nothing surprising about what he said. I think he is now seeing light, and I would wish that
Sporty FM.
Hello, Jerome.
Can you have against a team that has consistently demonstrated that they are running and doing things well? Even WAC is not at the standard of Ali of Egypt. They are not. But if we can't compete against them, how can you face Ali? You know, so let us, if we say we want to participate and be relevant in Africa, let's copy what they are doing. It's not so much about the money. Yes, the money is fundamental to everything you do. But I'm saying that the plans, the ideas, the indications you will give will show whether or not you have what it takes to even do well when the money comes. Because if you are not showing, it's like taking your child to school later, and your child is not showing that he has the capacity to learn. or he's showing seriousness to learn, I'm not sure you would be buying things and investing when he comes to say, I want this or I want that. You will give in comparison to whatever performance he's putting up. If you are not entirely going to take him out of school and find something else for him to do. So let us not deceive ourselves. I have listened to a lot of your callers. Almost everyone sees the point that our standard is way below what is out there. It will only work if the people running football in this country come to the realization that a yet talk is not showmanship, going to Congress and talking big. It's about working with information on the ground, what the data on the ground is telling you. And consistently, we've seen that I'm a person who has a lot of hope. But when it comes to the way we are running football, look, they can check. Do a comparative analysis between how national teams are performing with how clubs are performing. And you will see a correlation. There is a direct correlation. But because maybe we do well within a moment and qualify for the World Cup, we think, oh, we are excelling. But the senior national team, the Black Stars as we have it, have not been able to win in 3 AFCON competitions. That is the standard of our football. The Black Stars as we have it have been to AFCON competitions 3 in a row, and the best they have done is a draw. So if Kotoko goes to Africa and Kotoko is 1-up, 5-1, 6-1 or so, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. Because your senior national team cannot beat any of these teams.
Sporty FM.
Who has the Black Stars beaten in the last 6 or so years? Even the lowly ranked teams, we can't beat them. So I wish that the Football Association, the Congress of the FA, will be minded like these things will be of importance to them. But I don't see that. And I won't be surprised. The Ghana Premier League will end. Whoever will win will win. We'll go, and it will be the same story. Yet Congress will go on, and you will see people jostling for positions and fighting over term limits and those things. Those things don't matter. What matters is at the end of the day, when the power has been given to you, what do you do with the power? So, yes, it is Kotoko on the chopping board, and rightly so. But let us look at it on the broader scale and see that Ghana may have qualified for the World Cup. But in terms of male football competition, we are still in the low ranks. Club football is even not considered because we can't beat anybody. And if your senior national team too cannot beat anybody on the continent, missing out on AFCONs, and even when we qualify we can't win, then what are we doing with football? Anyway, thank you.
Jerome, thank you. Thank you so much for your input. I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
All right.
Wonderful. That's Jerome Motri, colleague journalist, ex-editor of the Asante Kotoko Express. He says that he agrees with Mr. Safudu. He says that is our reality. The reality is that financially, we seem to be at a big disadvantage. Clubs, when you segment or when you break it into smaller parts, clubs don't have what it takes to compete. And then when you put them all together, even as a league, even as a championship, we see that a lot of our clubs are unable to match the standards on the continent. They are unable to sustain players. They are unable to keep squads. They are unable to even add players of immense quality that will even help their campaigns on the African continent. And this is what it leads to. We go first round, second round, exit, we come back, and all of that.
And it's always going to be the case, like Jerome mentioned, unless something drastically changes. Just like I was saying. So if I'm a brand, and then I come and I see less than 10,000, I see just 5,000 fans at the Baba Sports Stadium. How would you convince me that I should give my money to you when I can give?
Now, how are there 5,000 people there? Why are there 5,000 people?
It is just like I mentioned.
The stadium holds 40,000.
Thank you. Just like I mentioned, that the constant bastardization of the league, bastardization of the league. People decide to say all sorts of, in quotes, nonsense around the league. Fine, referees may not be doing their bit, And it's not just in Ghana. This morning we heard what happened
in Turkey.
But we constantly see their stadiums full.
Yeah.
And as much as things go wrong, they defend the principal actors because they are the ones who are going to sell the product. How many officiating flaws haven't we seen from the Premier League in recent years?
Yeah.
Since time memorial, 2004, that Arsenal, the 2005, the unbeaten thing that happened, the Champions League with Rebo and Michael Ballack, and we see it. But what is the defense? Because you are protecting a product. Now the product has fallen and dropped to the point that those times we had ABC willingly coming to sponsor the league. We had Kena Pharma.
Yeah.
We had One Touch. We had companies who were willing to the point that we had people who were backing, and the clubs were okay to even go to Africa. Those times, Abed Mensah could just use gate proceeds and then sponsorship from Space Phone or Ariba or whatever to get the club to Africa. But now, ask yourself, so if I am a company and I hear that this is what is about the league, that constantly on the media I hear the league is bad, the officiating is terrible, this and that, and then ultimately fans are not going to the stadium, I won't put my money there.
Yeah, but Kelvin, fans will go and watch what is nice,
very good,
what is pleasant.
Yes, and that is what I'm saying. If ultimately, even if things are being said and it's bad, but the teams continue to amass the numbers that you'd want to see.
Okay.
People or companies will be willing to get involved, and they'll be willing to invest their money.
Okay,
so
you are saying that the teams will have to find a way of getting fans to the ground.
Very good. It's not just the teams. It should be a problem of the entire football association, because this is the topmost product. They should do their very best. This season, do I say Brandon has been great. You see the Ghana Premier League, you see Brandon has been great.
Yes.
But last season, ask yourself, you can even go to the stadium and you won't see whichever competition is being played, whether it's the FA Cup or it's the Ghana Premier League, unless the semi-finals or maybe the FA Cup, you see MTN, because MTN had to sponsor all the clubs. Why should it be so? It should be a conscious effort, and I think that it's something that the FA is worried about. The club should be equally worried about it and get involved how they are going to get it better.
Okay.
If they are not willing to help, this is what is going to happen. Because if you have money, when Felix Anna wanted to travel outside Ghana and Kotoko were willing to pay him the amount of dollars that he requested, he stayed. It took him to beg them. He said, he wanted to try something outside before he left. And those times you think Ablode would want to leave Kotoko. You think Chastela would want to leave. Dombote, fine, he went and came. But Oseko, you thought he wanted to leave the Ghana Premier League. No, he was okay. Now standards are being elevated across the world. And if I am a player and I realized with this Asante Kotoko, there is an offer for me. If I don't go, what he has done in the next 3 years, people will start coming back and they will be shouting, Olympics. Meanwhile, the player might have just been 5 or 6 years, at the very top, and may not be old. They think about all these things. Ask yourself how many years Kevin De Bruyne is still playing football. James Milner, Jordan Henderson is playing football. Brentford. Look at how he helped Brentford for them to win their game over Liverpool. He's still being invited into the national team. The players take into consideration. I know a player who decided to leave because of this. Morrison, he told me, Kelvin, they will come and tell me, and then once you make 1 or 2 mistakes, then the fans come at you, then the supporters leadership gets to the technical team, and then they will be forced to even get you out and get you off. So number one, it's about the marketing of our product. The product doesn't seem exciting and valuable because over the years it's been broken down into pieces. And now for Asante Kotoko, They are selling. But I'm sure they would have been able to pay Albert Amwa a wholesome amount if they had the money.
Mm-hmm.
And you ask yourself, where is the money going to come from?
Yeah.
It's about having
Sporty FM.
a well-layered structure. A well-layered structure that will get sponsors to Kotoko. And then that well-layered structure, ask yourself, where is Asante Kotoko's board?
Oh.
Where is the board? What is the organogram of Asante Kotoko?
Okay.
Which people are in charge of this, that administration, marketing, branding, all that? Where are they? So it's more like it was Nana Pinkra, right? Kwesi Appiah. And then Prosper Nateogum. And they moved Prosper away. And then Safuduku has come to a very top communique. And now they brought in Asenso. Where are the rest? Do you run a football club with just 5 management people or even 7? Recognized, like top people in very good positions.
Sporty FM.
I may be revealing this, but if Asante Kotoko cannot be able to send a proposal, well put together proposal to end sponsorship, to the point that one page proposal is being sent. Nathan, even if you are sending a proposal, will you send a 1-page?
No. I remember I had to send a few around. It was 3, 4, 5.
Thank you. Even you. All these things don't help, because if you have the money, these things will bring you the money. And when you get the money, that is where you'll be able to tell a player, I am paying you $5,000. The likes of Mbele and the Tuga and then Samba and the likes who are here, Kamara and the likes, they are being paid some good money. The reason why they are here, some pretty good dollars. Imagine if you are able to tell Albert, I beg you, you are my project for the next year. Fine, we've gotten out of Africa, but I want to pay you this amount.
Okay.
Stay in Ghana. You get a Black Stars collar, because judging from how you are playing, when you go and play the World Cup, you would have a better or a greater value. Let me give you this money. Stay. Help the team to win the Ghana Premier League. Let's get back into Africa. We will make 1 or 2 positive additions, signings into the team. But you can't even make these promises. You can't even make these promises to the player. So the clubs within and among themselves should be able to do that. Some of the clubs are doing it. They are maintaining some players. Heart of Lions maintained Lawrence Osei and a couple of other players, because they've been promised that, gentlemen, we were close to the league. Get us the league. We can play in Africa. I am giving you this amount.
Sporty FM.
Gone are the days when Kotoko and Hearts were the ideal teams for footballers because they could pay them so well. Now it's spreads across to the point that some of the clubs combined are paying better than Asante Kotoko.
Okay.
So they should just get back to the drawing board, rethink, and then get back. You can't blame the management for this, because this is something that has happened over the years. But from today, from this Albert Amwa situation, they should just know that there's a conscious effort that they should have put in place to get more sponsorship, be able to keep some of their, quality players. I am telling you, don't be surprised if Samba O'Neal leaves, if Kamara leaves, if Peter Amiduakwa leaves for the same reasons. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Michael Asai-Bredu is joining us. Michael, good morning. How are you doing? Okay. Hello, Michael. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can hear you. Can you also hear me?
Yes, I can now. Sorry, I hadn't pressed one of the buttons. We're talking about Asante Kotoko just as an entry into the broader conversation of the football economy in Ghana and the financial strength of teams. I was reading some quotes attributed to Mr. Safuduku, who's the communications director of Asante Kotoko. When he talks about the financial reality faced by the club, that is why they had to move Albert Amwa on and make some money. That's what do you make of just this whole thing? Or you can share with us what you know about the harsh realities that Mr. Safuduku is talking about, not only facing Asante Kotoko, but just across the league on a very general level.
Well, Thank you very much. Well, the conversation revolving around Albert Amoa and his exit from Asante Kodoko is purely hinged on finances, the financial benefits therein for the player and then the club. The offer was so juicy to the extent that it was difficult to refuse. And it feeds into the broader discussions that you're having about the status of Ghanaian clubs financially as to whether they can fend off interest in their prospects, in their talent, especially when they want to build a long-term project and make sure that it becomes a winsome one, not just at the domestic front, but also at the continental level. And the answer is no. It is very, very difficult because our football has this biggest issue being about money. Clubs don't generate enough revenue. And in this state, a lot of stakeholders are responsible for this. One, the clubs themselves, they have not properly structured themselves to be in a position where they would be appealing to brands or corporate entities who want them who want to do business with them. For instance, if you are a club and you do mass transfer ins, mass transfer outs at the end of every season, it wouldn't be appealing to any corporate entity to do business with you, because if I am a company and I want to venture into football sponsorship, there are certain things I look at. One, how good a club is in terms of performance, results, what they are achieving at the present point in time. Two, what assets do these clubs manage, and which of these assets are valuable enough that if I am a brand and I hop onto that brand, eventually it propels where I am as a brand to another level. So for instance, clubs mostly get sponsors who are interested in what the clubs are doing, but also the players available. So Barcelona would be attractive to any brand when they have a Lionel Messi performing at the top level. Messi is a high-profile player. His reach is extensive. He has wide access to a whole new region of supporters, and he breaks every divide. If you go to South America, you find fans who support Lionel Messi, the same across other continents. So when brands are coming, they will consider all these things. But with our Ghanaian clubs, tell me, how many of our players stay at the local scene for a consistent period that they've built themselves to a certain level where if I am corporate entity A and I want to team up with a Ghanaian club, which players do they have that I can actually position my brand on them and sell it? None. So we don't have those kind of leverages. We don't have such advantages to be able to convince these corporate entities to come on board. If they will come, it is just because they are doing us, let's say, like a charity, so something sort of, because the returns are basically zero. Mileage, how many GPO clubs can give companies mileage? No, it will not come to an extent. So our clubs have not really positioned themselves to the level where they are appealing to such brands. That is the first one. Clubs are not being run well. Coaches are sacked here and there. There is no continuity. There's no stability. And so corporate entities will need to think about, if I am signing a 5-year deal with this particular club, what is a guarantee that, okay, there is this coach there, he's going to stay for a consistent period, they are going to build a certain medium-term or long-term project that will yield success for us. And that is something that does not come with guarantees when it comes to the Ghana Premier League. And these are issues that affect us. Again, how the narrative of the GPL has been sold is so much more negative than positive. So anything Ghana Premier League, and people look at it with a scorn, they don't find it attractive because of a certain commentary around it. Yes, I understand that certain times it is just the media communicating the realities. It is true, but I also think that as a media, a section of us can also do advocacy, where we decide that no matter how bad our situation is, we need to package it in a manner where it is appealing for the outside world, for the corporate world, so that they will have their attention on it. But it is not always the case. It looks like our media, which we are part, our media seems to be so much focused on things that don't really go right. And then we excuse the things that are being done right. So a player will score a hat-trick, but the next thing that will be discussed at length will be maybe a supporter who decided to enter the inner perimeter, maybe the jerseys that were not so good. And these discussions tend to drive people away from the product. And I think it is something that we as a media need to be deliberate about it. When we went to South Africa, their media was saying it, that, excuse me to say, they have a shitty FA. They believe that SAFA are not doing things right. And if they just rely on SAFA to make sure everything is okay, then they will not be where they are. But the media decided to take a deliberate attempt towards promoting their South African Football League, that is the PSL. They made sure that they would want to push it to that level where even when it is not as comparable to the top European leagues in terms of quality, standard whatsoever, they will make it appealing and that brands will want to do business with them. And it's worked. This has been decades of work in terms of promotion, decades of advocacy journalism, making sure that every South African kid on the street is not starved of information. And this is something that has actually yielded success. And now the PSL looks like an appealing brand. Companies are pumping in money. So when DSTV sponsors, the next day you see Betway, you see a whole lot of sponsors coming on board. It started from somewhere. Growing up, I saw how much there was this love and passion for our local game, but now that seems to have waned. There is a lot of interest in the foreign leagues than it is in the local leagues, and I think the media has played the part. We shape the appetite. We determine what people must consume at a point in time. Initially, there will be struggles, but if you're able to create compelling content, very interesting ones, which some do exist in our local game. A lot of interesting storylines exist in our local game, but it's just that the media is not so passionate about it and don't want to dig deep to find such stories. And I think that is also one thing that has affected the brand. 3, the state and what they have done in terms of laws or regulations to drive away sponsors, because the biggest issue in our game is lack of sponsors and lack of money. For instance, Obuasi, forgive me that I'm mentioning brands on the show, but I wanted to be specific.
Okay.
Obuasi Beaters runs a sponsor on DSTV regarding the English Premier League.
Yeah.
Now, because of regulations that have been put in place by the FDA, it has restricted alcoholic beverage companies from directly running sponsors or advertisements with our clubs. So it means if you are an alcoholic beverage company, you cannot sponsor the product Ghana Premier League or any Ghana football product. You cannot sponsor a football club. You cannot sponsor a sports club. And you cannot sponsor a sports event. So we have driven all these prospective sponsors away, and it has limited us to just a fraction of prospective sponsors. So now, the alcoholic companies who in times past used to be key partners of our local football have been sent out. There was a Guinness Gala that we used to play, sponsored by Guinness. There was the ABC Lager Premier League at a point in time.
Yeah.
We've had Casa Preco and the others pump money into Ghana football because they saw it as a brand they could affiliate with, and then they will make success in terms of the returns, the mileage that will be offered. Now we've scared them away, and they are using their resources that they mostly generate from here, the revenue that they generate from here. They are sending it to foreign leagues, foreign companies, and then it is growing at the expense of Ghanaian companies. Why does it have to be so? And it is a regulation from the FDA, which I think needs to be looked at. And oftentimes when our parliamentarians meet, these are the things we expect them to deliberate on. Because our game is really lacking in terms of investment. No money is coming on board. When there was money, we could see that our clubs were a bit consistent in terms of Africa. They generated good money enough to run. But now, very limited sponsorship avenues. So they will just go to some 1 or 2, and then they will come, and since they know that we are actually in need, they offer us just a morsel, and we are okay. Oh, well, But my Accra will be fine. Just give us something small, we'll cope. So we are not getting what we think we deserve, and that becomes an issue. Again, the FA and betting companies. For instance, the FA has not really seen eye to eye with betting companies that load Ghana football matches on its platform, and they've even threatened to sue them. But I think the FA should also see betting companies as partners. They should see them as entities that they can team up with to grow the game. But the betting companies have lots of money and they can pump it into the game. So why not sit down with, let's say, Sporty Bet? Let's deliberate. You load our matches on your platform. How do we also benefit from you in terms of sponsorship, in terms of partnership? Can we have something like that so that it will become a win-win situation for both parties? Rather, you read comments like, we will not tolerate, we will not do this, we will not do that. Eventually, you are scaring them away and you are not inviting them into your quarters. And that is also another thing that can be looked at. So, myriad of issues, but the fundamental one is that there is a certain lack of money, and it will not deter Ghanaian clubs from selling players, even when they feel they will need the services of these players in the immediate and then in the medium-term future. They will sell them for money because there is not much money that is being invested into our game. Supporters are not going to the stadia to watch games. They are not patronizing matches. Even when they do go, a chunk of these supporters, a percentage of them, like 50%, want to watch these matches for free. In Ghana, when you charge 20 cedis for a football game, the fan will come and tell you it is too expensive, so we cannot afford. So just allow me to go free. My father used to be this, my uncle used to be this, let me go for free. I've started supporting this club for a very long time. So even with the crowd that you see at our match venues, let's say a fraction of them come for free. They don't pay anything. And especially the VIP areas. If you take time to really monitor, a lot of these VIP people who sit there, most of them did not even pay. They came with protocol. Oh, I am coming with this person. Oh, my friend is a former Asante Kotoko player. So if Opokunti is coming, then I will attach myself to Opokunti. Then I enter for free. And that is the bane of our game. So we are not really reaping what we should be getting. And that is the fundamental thing. Yes, I understand. The football is not perfect. Clubs are not running well. But I think there should be that advocacy on the part of almost every stakeholder that even when things are not right, this is our own. Let's go all out and then let's support it one way or the other to push it to a certain level. Now, as we grow it, then we correct the few issues that confront us, and then we'll be able to make progress. So these are my initial thoughts, because the money that was given to Albert Tamwa, trust me, even if he was a pope or a saint, it would be difficult for him to refuse it, judging by what he was earning here in Ghana. Albert Tamwa came with a low profile. He came with, he wasn't really one of the top earners at Kodoko, because from Olympics, they had been relegated. So he did not have much of the bargaining chip. So it was much more like, oh, okay, we are giving you the platform, so come and play for us, and let's see what you can do. He signed a 3-year contract. In his first year, it was solid. But I don't think the club sat down with him to even offer him an improved contract. Then in his second year, he's become the face of the team. It coincided with certain factors prevailing. Kwame Poku got injured. Now he got the main option. And before the season started, yes, they spoke to him about the offer that came from Qatar. That, oh, start the season, play well. If you do well, Ghana will likely qualify for the World Cup. When they do, there will be a campaign for local players to be included. And we can make a case for you, especially if you produce the numbers. And he started this season so well. Then he had to forfeit the Qatar deal, because then they expected to go far in Africa. And so maybe when they play the group stages, when he does well in the Ghana Premier League, then the Black Stars thing come into being. Unfortunately, they met their end when they faced WAC of Morocco. And just after that, a deal has been offered, juicy offers. I don't think Albert Amwa himself, he loves Kodoko. I understand it. He contemplated, he was thinking twice. But when monies were offered, when he listened to the proposal, it was difficult to refuse it, because I don't think a Ghana Premier League player now, no matter how much you are paid, will refuse even $10,000 as monthly salary elsewhere. It will be difficult for any Ghana Premier League player to do that. And in the case of Amoah, he was going to earn more than that, and he definitely had to accept it. But the fundamental issue that confronts us is money. If money comes on board, trust me, it will solve a lot of the issues that we have. When Kotoko had money, they were able to hire the likes of Ian Porterfield. Ian Porterfield was a top manager.
Yeah.
When they had money, they were able to bring on board the likes of Rav Zoom. There was this this German coach who eventually went to South Africa.
Hans-Dieter Schmidt.
Hans Middendorp.
Hans Middendorp. Yep.
And Porterfield and the rest.
Ian Porterfield at that point in time was being paid around $5,000.
Yeah.
Asante Kotoko. Kotoko had sponsorship from Tigo and then Ariba.
Yeah.
The sponsorship amounted, the Tigo sponsorship then was $1 million.
Yeah.
Then, back then, you see where we've dropped to the standard and everything. It is because we are scaring prospective sponsors away. The clubs are part, the media is also part. The constant narrative, but league time, league phone, when you speak this consistently to people, it becomes the truth. It becomes their reality. So the last time when you were taking the phone in, a caller called and said, Brekum Golden City Park, there said, Enye Papa, pitch Nenye. Meanwhile, he was referencing the past and not the present, because he had not seen it, he had not visited there. But that is what has been put in his mind. So the constant narrative of negativity is something that has actually affected our game and has driven prospective sponsors away. Corporate entities do not see the need to invest in it because the media will come. You see, there are a lot of things that happen, and especially for Kumasi media, a lot of things that do happen where media men will come and ridicule a certain game that is supposed to be played. And they will tell you, where they see a bomb match, maybe a resource, see. You see, you can give correct score predictions on European football matches. And when it happens so, you are a genius. But when someone gives a correct score prediction on the Ghana Premier League and then it happens, oh, a game, you know. But meanwhile, the person will not even have evidence to back it. So I think, we need to change, all of us, the clubs, the administrators, the FA, the media, and then the fans. If all stakeholders are changing, I think we can start to take a good turn and then make progress. Because if Kotoko were paying good sums of money, I don't think that Ernst Middendorp will walk from Germany, come here, and come and take peanuts. No, he saw the prospect. When Kotoko had money, they were embarking on preseason trips in Germany, going for preseason tournaments in South Africa. But there's no money, and that is where we are. When money is there, a lot of plans can be put in place, strategies, so that we can make progress and go forward. But the issues that bedevil us means that the little that we have, then let's cope. Because money will make you hire top officials. If you have money to hire, then you go in for a top international rep, somebody to represent you at the international level, give you a certain image. Because I think if protocol are doing their stuff right, making sure that they are able to draw partnership and all that, someone like Denta is one you draft in. Already she has a good relationship with Menchia. You draft her on board. She represents you internationally and sells the club to the diaspora so that they will be able to draw attention and grow the numbers. But listen, the point is there is no money. There is no money. We are in a nation where football fans feel 20 Ghana cedis is too much and they can't afford it. How do we make progress? But you compare us to WAC. Oh, Kotoko should not lose 5. But you go to WAC, the lowest ticket price on the day against Kotoko was 25 euros.
25 euros, you say?
Yes, the lowest. The lowest amount of money paid for a ticket, 25 euros. Compared to
that's about how much? That's about how much? That's about what? Between 250 and 300 CDs, right?
Exactly. But compared to the Kotoko WAC game, if you ask a fan to pay 200 CDs for a popular stand, just imagine the brouhaha that will ensue. So that is where we are. We don't have the purchasing power, the fans, but they are the ones that make the most demands. They want the club to be run like prime Real Madrid. But if you ask them to do what Real Madrid fans do, then they will be left wanting. They will vanish, especially those on social media. So there is a bigger issue that we need to solve. And I've spoken about various stakeholders playing their part, especially the state. You don't make regulations to cripple or to stifle the industry that you need to thrive on. Until we see football and sport as an avenue that can help to improve our economy, we will not make progress. Because if you make laws that will allow corporate entities to send their investments outside the country, it is more of an issue, because it means DSTV will make double money from us, the subscription, and then now the sponsors who are even coming on board. Why should Casapreco send their investment to DSTV? Why should Obuasibite send their money to invest DSTV? Why should these companies send their monies there when that money could have been coming to something like Adesa Productions, who are broadcasting the Ghana Premier League? They should be getting this revenue so that they pump it into their revenue generated, and it will go to the clubs. They gave each club 1 million Ghana cedis.
Sporty FM.
If they are making more money, it comes there. Casapreco will not send the money to DSTV where we are not getting any direct benefit from them. Again, they will send the money to Adesa or to the clubs. And trust me, if we open up, a lot of these companies who run alcoholic beverages will pump their money into the local game. They will do that. But we have scared them away with state regulations. Oh, we should not do this at this point in time. We should not do this. Let's just sit down and assess this particular regulation, that you are not supposed to run advertisements on alcoholic beverages until after 8 p.m. But they play Premier League matches prime time, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and they are playing these adverts on the screens. A lot of our kids who we feel are underage and should not be exposed to such are watching them because they watch these clubs, the Manchester United, the Chelseas, and the others. They watch them at prime time. So what's the essence of having such a law that cripples the local industry and then it promotes the foreign one? So this is the issue that we need to really settle. When we tackle it, when the money comes into our game, a lot of things will change. But the FA should also keep the clubs in check for proper running. You can't run as a football club and you can't even prepare your financial statement. We don't know your profit and loss statement. We don't know what actually happened. Are the clubs being audited? Are they doing internal auditing and external auditing? What are their financial books saying? Are they fit to run as football clubs? The FA should also be tight on that, strict, firm. Make sure that as per the club licensing requirement, the financial statement and the financial health of football clubs operating in Ghana are up there so that there are guarantees. You know that Club A has qualified to play in the Division 1 League or the Ghana Premier League, and they have this financial standing. So there are guarantees that they will be able to pay players and pay them well. So I'm very happy the FA has set the minimum salary cap. They've introduced that, and then it will come into being. But as they do that too, they should keep the clubs in check financially. Make sure that every club, as required by club licensing rules, submit their financial statement, and the FA appoints external auditors to run audit on these clubs, so that we will not have clubs who come dominate in our league and they can't even do what is right. This season, one thing that has really improved, the venues. Calvin, you went to Doma, right?
Yeah. No, I couldn't go there, but Graham and the team went.
Yeah. How Atapoku, together with the rest of the Adriana Stars team, have transformed the Doma venue.
Yeah.
And it's because they got a sponsor, Jigri Bekala, which is a gold trading company. They want to invest in the club. They have transformed Doma. It is a beautiful place now. The same applies to Brekum. When Jigri Bekala was pumping money into Adriana, they decided to add Brekum Chelsea. So they are sponsoring Brekum Chelsea too. They gave them money to refurbish the Golden City Park. I can count the number of teams who use the Golden City Park. Brekum Raja Casablanca, Brekum Arsenal.
What a name. Which division is Brekum Raja Casablanca?
I think they are in the Division 2.
Okay.
Brekum Raja Casablanca, Brekum Arsenal, Brekum Chelsea. There are female sides that use the venue. So you can count up to 6 teams that use the Brekum Golden City Park, but they've transformed it and it's improved. The pitch has improved, the stands, everything. Clearly, it means that when there is money, these clubs can do things right. But there is no money. How did they transform pitches? How did they do this? How did they do that? So the FA should be encouraging clubs. I understand, as per the club licensing requirement, you are not supposed to be so strict. But again, when it comes to the financial health of football clubs, that one, they should take a non-compromising stance. So we see Kasemonya. If it is no good, it is no good. You are not fit. Clubs have gone into administration. They folded elsewhere, that jurisdiction, because they don't have the money to run. In South Africa, it happens when clubs do emerge and they are not able to satisfy the financial requirements. They are not allowed to play because you can't run as a business. And we should see our football clubs as such, so that the restriction is there. You go to Vision FC, look at the wonderful edifice that Michael Osekra has put up. And the players even come there, swimming pools and stuff. They come there, they relax, they do their stuff. Proper football setting. You look at what Mr. Moses Ama is doing for Midiema. They have transformed these clubs. But a few ones, you go there, Nyoma Basa. And these are the weeds that we need to weed out of the game. If you can't run, merge. Most of these clubs that we see now playing at the top were mergers. This club came together with this club and they merged so that they can run efficiently. So if you are 11 Wonders from Techiman and then you qualify for the Premier League and you can't play, you don't need to sell. You can merge with local clubs, pull resources together, team up, and grow. Kotoko, as we see now, became possible as a result of several transformations and mergers. It happens across board. It is not wrong to merge. But in Ghana, it looks like everybody wants to be his own competition. Oh, we are Tenedia, so let me go and run. Let me run my 10. Even when the person is not capable of doing it. We don't encourage partnerships. We don't encourage mergers. And then you see that the person will be struggling, but still they don't want to open up. And that is one thing that we need to change. The FA must be strict on that. The financial health and status of clubs so that they will run properly. When that happens, then they will also give the corporate world enough confidence that, oh, these are properly run clubs. These are clubs who account for whatever resources or revenue that you pump in. Then let's do business with them. And that is what Kotoko is doing. The decision to bring Asenso on board is for some of these things. You can see that sponsors are coming, although the value in terms of the sponsorship might not be to the level that you expect, but it is better than none. There was a time where we were ridiculing Opoku Inti because he has secured a breakfast partner for Asante Kodoko, the company that was supposed to supply bread to the team so that they will not spend money on breakfast. But it was ridiculed in the media, but the same media forgot to understand that if the club had 30 players and they were buying bread 20 for each every breakfast, 30 times 20 is 60 for the entire month. It means you will spend no less than 6,000 cedis on bread or breakfast. If a company caters for that for you, it is taking away that element that can be used to run another thing. But they were just laughing. Oh, na makofaba. Just look at this. So I think we need to be better, all stakeholders, media inclusive. We can be better, and then we can make the product as appealing as we want it. We shape the taste and the appetite of the consumer. We play a crucial role in that. And if we can team up with the media, run campaigns, run projects, that will whip up enthusiasm for the local league. This season is better. We are improving, but there is still a lot more room for improvement.
Wow. Very deep dive into this. I mean, as you said, and Calvin has also said it. So it's a mix of different things, different things, all underpinned by the regulation. Because Michael talks about the club licensing and the fact that if you are not of a certain financial muscle or financial strength, there's no way you should get a license to even play in the league in the first place. If you don't have a certain amount of money, you cannot be admitted into the league to play. Then it talks about media. Of course, we also have to add to the narrative. We have to create a certain narrative. Then I guess the broader economy, really, because that's what includes sponsors, and then there's regulation to ensure that sponsors can have a little bit of leeway to advertise, because when they advertise and bring their money, clubs can benefit and all of that. Kelvin, I don't know if you have any more.
This is something that some of us have spoken about, that even if it's 12 clubs who can play, offer us the best of facilities. You know, some of the venues you cannot broadcast matches from some of the venues because of the conditions. The prevailing, stature.
Okay.
They have to improve the structure, the value, and then the productivity of certain things at the venues. Now, I always say, if we have 10 solid clubs or even 12 who would be able to fund themselves, help us have a very productive league, it is better than playing 18.
Where
18, where we would have this tomorrow, that.
But what happens to the other clubs?
The other clubs, they should stay behind. So even in Division 1, you prune. Let clubs be serious. Let us see proper models running football clubs.
Okay. So you are in favor of cutting down the number.
Just cut down the number.
Premier League, we cut the number.
Just
Division
cut down the
1.
number.
So the ones that we cut out, say from Division 1, where do we take them?
They should go to Division 2. Yes, because standards would always be lowered when it gets to the lower division. You get it? It's the reason why in the Premier League, I think last season there was a club that came. The club that Ipswich. Was it Ipswich? I think their first 2 games, one of the clubs, they did not play. Luton. They had to make sure
first few
Thank
games.
you. But they qualified for championship, right? But when they got to the Premier League, they had to upgrade. We should do that. When you have clubs in there, let us prune. We will prune out till we get to, when you get to Division 3 or you get to coast and your team cannot play, you go and sit home. Or you look at other avenues.
Okay.
It is something that I think that the Football Association, fine, we know that our conditions are not, but when we let clubs understand that the world is moving away from the primitive days or the old days when we did football more like it was just for the fun of it. And let's just now look at it from the business model. Michael mentioned Oseke and other clubs are putting in their efforts to upgrade facilities, make things better. Look at Ahoy United. Fine, they are playing on an artificial turf, but one single individual has made sure that facility is good enough for football broadcast. What are the rest doing? You go to other facilities and it's an eyesore. So the FA should just do it. And the clubs themselves. Now, we're talking about Kotoko not finding money.
Yeah.
They should go back to their under 20 time. Michael mentioned Enes Medindop. This was a man who was picking players from lower divisions. Players from Sunday Special. Because he saw the quality of these players.
Yeah.
Now, it's more like if a player doesn't play the Ghana Premier League, you don't get these youngsters, put them in Asante Kotoko. Benfica and the likes are making money from academies as some of the best-selling football academies in the world.
Yeah.
Monaco.
That's true.
They are thriving because they produce and sell. This was it Stade Malien team or that played in the CAF Champions League and they are into the group stages. 3 players from is it one of the clubs in Kumasi? Is it Benab or Deportivo? They came from right from there in Kumasi.
Yes, Benab.
They
came from Benab,
and they went straight to where Stade Malien, and they've qualified them to the CAF Champions League.
Yes.
These are youngsters. When you tell them, gentlemen, come in the next 2 years, you are playing, or in the next year, you're walking into Asante Kotoko's team. They know it's a privilege. And when you run a very good model, you won't be afraid that the next generation will take over. Kotoko didn't care when Aziz Ansah wanted to leave because they knew they had a youngster in Michael Ofosu-Appiah who was coming up.
CID.
They did not care when Michael Osei said, I won't play again, I'm going, because they knew that Francis Akwafo was coming up. They just didn't mind because they knew quality was coming. When Prince Anoche started misbehaving, they knew that Daniel Niaje from Nochip could play at right back, play in central midfield, play on the right-hand side of midfield, play as a central attacking midfielder, or even a number 10 behind the main striker. All because they knew that succession plan. Currently, where is that succession plan? Albert Tamwa is going. Are you going to see Jordan Emisa play? This guy was excellent when Kotoko played the youth league last season. Have we given him any promise? How many times has he played? When Kotoko played away, we all saw it clearly. Albert Tamwa was injured. He just shouldn't have played the match. You could see he was pulling away from the tackles.
Yeah, he wasn't 100%.
He was hanging his foot almost every time. Where was Jordan Emisa? Where was that striker? And Michael can attest to the fact that this is a very good player. Those times, because Kotoko trusted that Kojo Poku Mahala was a very good player, when they traveled to Gazelle El Mahala in Egypt, he was the boy who came to change the game for them. They beat Kotoko 4-2, but eventually Kotoko qualified because they had beaten Gazelle El Mahala here.
Yeah.
Some of these things, it's not far-fetched. Some of them are things that the clubs were doing very well in the past. Michael mentioned the sponsorship. You heard it.
Oh yeah.
Tigo, those times.
It was.
Why don't we go back and then add the modern trend? What has been added in modern times to make football better, more productive, more rewarding?
But that bit surprises me, Michael, I'm sure you are listening. I don't know if you have something to say. It surprises me how, let's say, 20 years ago, clubs seem to have they had a good pulse on the sponsorship. You mentioned Herbert Mensah's time. It's true. And all the other things some of the other clubs were doing. How is it that 25 years on, when now that is supposed to be relatively easier, things seem to have gone in the opposite direction?
Various factors. Because one, if Tigo could afford to pay 1 million then to Asante Kotoko, it meant business was very good. Now, how is business now? The Ghanaian economy looks to be ailing. So generally, in that industry, where is Tigo? The country had to eventually merge with Airtel and then operate. Their profits and everything, the margins dropped. So as a company, they did not thrive. They just had to survive. So if they were offering that sum of money then, can they offer it now? And the answer is no. So as a country, our economy has retrogressed. We've actually gone down the abyss, and it will translate directly into the football economy, because the football economy is a microcosm of the macro economy. So it means when we have a thriving economy on a broader scale, it will trickle down to every other industry, i.e. the entertainment sector, whatever sector, which football is also part. So companies now cannot afford to pay the sums of money they were paying back then because of the state of the Ghanaian economy. That is the fundamental one. Then you break it down.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
Are not able to do things right. It is the same for the footballing sector. You can count the number of football clubs who were the benchmarks back then, who have either folded or they are not being run as efficiently as it should be. Back then, Obuasi Goldfields was the benchmark of professionalism in Ghana football. To date, where is Obuasi Goldfields? It's just recently that a new project has emerged, which is the new Ashanti Gold 04. That is being run, and they're now playing the Division 1 league. It even had to come through a merger with a Bekwai-based club and then some of the Obuasi folks to make sure that they will bring football to Obuasi. But the original Ash Gold has folded because of the issues here and there. Again, there were clubs that were like model clubs to others. Gomoa Fete Feyenoord. They were the beacon of producing talent because they had this wonderful partnership with Feyenoord Rotterdam, and then they produced some of the best talent here. Now, eventually, Feyenoord decided to return and then not continue with such operations. Fete collapsed. You go to the edifice, the structure that they have there, they have a huge land mass, and then they have wonderful structures like 6-7 pitches. Quality. The last time I went there to do some inspection exercise, you will marvel at the quality they have. I think even as it stands, they have one of the best AstroTurf pitches in the country, even when it has been left unused for a consistent period. The surface, everything solid. They have camping rooms, camping halls, a lot of facilities exist there, but it has become a white elephant because it's been left there. They had to team up with then Red Bull Soccer Academy at Sogakope, and then it became WAFA. What has happened to WAFA now? They have dropped. So you can look at clubs that were like model clubs that other Ghanaian clubs who were coming up would have to learn from. They have folded because the football industry is not thriving as well. Issues here and there, their own political issues. Again, other issues that cripple them. And it means that there is a bigger issue that we need to look at. So companies are not making enough money to come on board. And when they do generate and develop an interest to invest in our game, we also use state regulations to scare them away. Like I cited for the alcoholic beverage sponsorship sort of thing.
Yeah.
Again, we also have our football administrators not welcoming to prospective partners, like I mentioned, for the betting companies. We rather see them as enemies. I've heard people say, betting companies, Oman match fixing a game. No, they are different. Betting syndicates are different from online sports bookmakers. But we've bumped them all into one, and then we see them as enemies. So we are not welcoming to them. And that is also another issue. So clubs cannot receive sponsorship with huge sums of money because it will come from people who don't really understand the game. And if you, let's do you a favor, you sent your proposal to us, let us consider it. But they don't really understand why they should blend with that. If it is for the alcoholic beverage companies, they've already been doing this, so they understand. Even to an extent where Guinness has been restricted. Look at them sponsoring the Women's Premier League, Malta Guinness. Why? Because they see the need to invest into football. So imagine if it was open and not restricted by regulations. Just imagine what they would have done for the bigger football product. Recently, we saw MTN team up with the Black Stars and all the other national teams. MTN is running their FA Cup competition. But ask yourself, how has the money that they used to sponsor, how has it appreciated? It's because they don't really see the need to invest into this industry when it is not thriving. And we can improve one way or the other. And sponsorships are not just the only way clubs will use to run. How many of our Ghanaian clubs are doing proper sales in terms of players? Because as a football club, you have 3 avenues you use to generate revenue. Match day revenue that you generate in terms of tickets sold, jerseys, memorabilia, and other stuff. 2, sponsorships that will come in. 3, player sale. And it is one thing our Premier League clubs don't really do well in, which is the player sales. We are not good at. And for once, I am happy the Kotoko management has seen the need to sell players, generate revenue, and help them to run. So if you are getting like 300,000 from our Betamua sale, it allows you to invest back into the team and look at options. And it will not just be the player I think they will sell, because Kamara is nearing the end of his deal. If he does not agree to renew, it won't be long. I think the season will not even end. If the offer comes, they will sell him. Sambo O'Neill, the same thing. Musa Hamzata joined Asante Kodoko on a free. He has been offloaded to, I think he's been sold to Sweden. He's gone to Sweden. He's not even played 10 matches for Asante as a star. He's gone. You get a point. So this management is showing the intention that if there is a need to make money to run the club, they will not hesitate. And that is a good thing. What happens to other Ghanaian clubs? Gold Stars won the league. How many players have they sold to make good money from? Charles James Kamara, how much did they sell him to Aduana Stars? Did they make good money from it? Would that sustain them to run? Samatas won the league, and 2 of their best players who helped them to win the league, eventually one left for free. Emmanuel Kayeke went to Singida Black Stars. He's helped them qualify for the CAF Interclub competition group stage for the first time in their history, but they did not sell him for money. It was Dauda Yusuf Seidu who went to APR, and I think they got something from that. That is okay. Richmond Lamte was one of the best players in the GPL. He left for free. Stephen Desemukwala was managed by Asante Kotoko, put on a certain level to the extent that he played for the Uganda national team while he was still a Kotoko player. He left for free. They did not get any money from it. And I can go on and mention a lot of names. So our clubs are not maximizing player sales to generate revenue. And if you look at the global transfer report and you study Ghana's, you will know that a lot of the players who are sold from Ghana, this jurisdiction, come from the lower tiers, Division 1, Division 2, not necessarily the Premier League level. It means a lot of clubs will need to have a relook at their model and then shape it well to the extent that they will be able to produce talents who are just what the profiles that these European clubs seek, the ages, the potential, so that you can market them, sell them, make money, you invest again into the local sector. Because if Kodoko, for instance, every year are selling three players,
the voice of sports.
They are selling three players for $200,000. That is $600,000. When Kodoko makes this money, they invest, let's say, a fraction of it, 60%, into acquiring talent, running a very formidable youthful project. And then if, let's say, 400,000 from the 600 is being pumped into youth football development, it means clubs who scout for talent and then give them the platform for these clubs to come for, they will also make some amount of money to invest in it. So it will trickle down to the lowest tier. And then the money will revolve around, circulate within the football economy, and it will allow for liquidity. But in this case, when Kotoko makes the money, they pocket it. Then they want to go for the Division 3 player or the Division 2 player for free. They want to use their own maneuvering to try and then steal the player, quote unquote, steal the player. So they don't pay money to acquire player as Ayebuedu. And as Ayebuedu becomes heavy, they sell me for 100,000. They keep the money again. So our clubs are not, one, selling players and generating enough revenue. And the few players they sell and generate the revenue, they don't invest back into the local football economy. So there is not enough free currency circulation. There is not enough money running through the system. Because if Gold Stars take their money, no one pocket it. When Kodoko takes their money, they pocket it. As a proof, I don't remember the last time they even sold a player. They will pocket it. And the money does not circulate around. So a lot of our clubs are running into debt. They are not making enough money. And then it is discouraging for them, because if I bring out this player and then this club maneuvers and come and steal the player from me, I don't get anything. What happens next is that I either go to the player status committee, the GFA, a whole lot of arbitration. And then at the end of the day, I don't see any progress. I just give up. And it is not allowing for the talent flow. And these clubs are now getting smart. They think, okay, then we will not do business with the Ghana Premier League clubs. We'll do business with foreign clubs who are interested. So they sign mandates with agencies across the world. So when there is a need for this profile of players, so that is how come Benab will be able to export talent outside Ghana to Mali. Because I know that when they go to Stade Malien, there is an onward transfer benefit they will get.
Yes.
The route for the player to get to France is there. So if I send the player to France, the club will make money. Stade Malien will pay me. Good business. But if it is the Ghanaian club, they will sell the player and not give me my onward transfer fee. And I will have to battle them for longer periods. By the time the money comes, it becomes useless. And these are the issues that does not allow for our Premier League clubs or elite level clubs to partner with the lower tier clubs to run such projects. If the clubs were straightforward, if they were truthful or sincere in their dealings with them, trust me, they will get a lot of talent from there. A lot of talents do come from Kumasi, they come from the other places. But these clubs now want to do business with agencies because there is that guarantee that even if the player is being sold, they will get minimum $10,000, $5,000. Go and ask yourself clearly, how much Asante Kotoko paid to Park Academy for Peter Amidu Akwa? How much are they paying for the club? How much are they paying Peter Amidu Akwa since he joined them? He's the longest serving member in the team now, I think together with Henry Azu. How much is he being paid? His contract is running out. They offered him a new deal with improved salary. If I mention the figure to you, you would actually want to puke. Premier League club. Why is the player refusing to sign a new deal? The player had to go to, I think it was Germany. Before Samoa went to Celta Vigo, he had to go to Germany. You consider the deal and everything. Kotoko would have to pay an onward transfer. They felt the money was small, so the player did not go. He will now, in this situation, the player will love to run down his contract and go for free.
Yeah.
He also feels he has a certain age where his profile and everything, the European clubs will be interested in taking him on board, polishing him, and they will still get more time to use him. So any European club will love to run with Peter Amiduakwa and give him a 6-year contract. But imagine if Kotoko had been straightforward to an extent with Park Academy, and then together they groom the player, they pay him well, they build his profile up. You can sell him now for like 300,000, 400,000 because he has a lengthy contract with you, and you've done enough work to build him up. But no, our clubs are not truthful to the lower clubs, and they don't want to do business with them, so they want to move elsewhere. So it has scattered our talent. Our talents are no longer concentrated in the local league. So the rest is that, and the Kotokos and the House will have to settle for, excuse me if this is a harsh word, but the leftovers. So check, Rocky Gamena now plays for House of Folk.
Yeah.
The player that was cast away from Kotoko. I'm not saying it's not good, but I think if they are also done their own stuff well, they would have gotten players from the lower tiers who are of a certain age and a better profile than Rocky Gamena. But they have not treated a lot of clubs well. Some date as far back as 10 years, 5 years. So they fractured that relationship. And the clubs don't want to do business with them. So they are not getting the best of talent. Now, if you don't get the best of talent, how do you groom them, develop them, and sell them? Your players are not attractive. So you look through the House of Folk team now. Tell me, which player within the House team will any club outside Ghana want to buy for $500,000? The same applies to Kotoko. Good enough, Albert Amo has left. Amo did not even last 2 years at Kotoko. Richmond Lamptey left for free. So these are the issues. Our clubs are truthful to each other. They don't treat the lower clubs very well. They take their player and they want to take the player for free. They don't sell the player and make money and then forward the onward transfer fee to them. And it becomes an arbitrary issue. These are also issues that affect us. So that is one thing. Revenue generation. When clubs learn to be truthful and do things right, they will get a lot of players from the lower tiers, and they'll be able to sell some of them, make good money, and then run.
It's a conversation, I guess, that has so many layers. Michael, thank you so much for your input, but I will have to draw the curtain here. I'm sure we'll have this conversation again. Kelvin, thank you so much. Thank you. And that's how we wrap it up this morning. Michael, thank you so much. Michael has already joined us on the line. It's like I said, it's a conversation that stemmed out of the comments made by Safu Duku following the transfer of Albert Amwa. And it just speaks to the big challenges that exist in the Ghana Premier League. 4 after 10, we'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. Let me just read these announcements and then we head out. Now, Ghana may not be at the WAFCON, but you have the right to be there in Morocco. You have to go and enjoy in Morocco. Dunia Safari and Sporty FM are bringing you closer to the WAFCON. So it doesn't mean that you can't go. Once Ghana is not there, you can also go. Now use the Sporty FM promo code SportyFan25 when booking with Dunia Safari to unlock a 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people booking. Get in touch with them on 053-808-7709. Send an email, travelduniasafari@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari. MTN Free After 1 Extra is here. You can talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk. You can also get 100 MB of data for free after your first call on Saturdays. Just dial *550# to subscribe. And this Friday, the 31st of October, and at the Presec campus, or on the Presec campus, Legon, the class of 2015 will be celebrating 10 years since they left school, and it will also be 10 years of the Torch and Bonfire Night Yeah. Expect an unforgettable night with lights, music, nostalgia, and brotherhood as we raise the torch high and celebrate the spirit of excellence that never dies. It's happening this Friday at Presec. It's the Odadia Torch and Bonfire Night, powered by the Odadia 2015 year group, still flying high, still blazing trails. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Nathan Carter. This has been the Sporty Breakfast on a Tuesday morning. We'll catch you tomorrow. Keep a dials locked on Sporty.